Good morning. It is March 25th. I'm Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop, and I have a great live stream for you today. We have new It's So Emma pattern releases. Denise is going to reveal for you the March Stitch Quarterly to talk all about that and explain exactly all the things so I don't mess it up. I have a ton of stitching progress. I went on vacation and I came back with a lot of stuff somehow magically stitched. Our Stitchy staffers are going to show you lots of stuff, and the new section. The new section is going to be awesome because it's a lot of new items, but it's also all of the little stragglers that came in from Nashville. So ton of new stuff, and I'm going to jump right in. I'm super excited to talk about our brand new needles. They're called Kimberly's cross stitch needles. This is how they come packaged. Thank you to Kevin Jolly, who came up with a lot of the packaging. I think me and Denise fought him a little bit, but I think that he won out. So size 26 is your smaller needle, size 26 is your bigger needle. These are the only two sizes that we're coming out with right now. Basically, it has a little thing where it doesn't stick or anything, but you can always put this back in so you don't lose your needles. And they come in the typical packaging, and there are 12 needles per pack. I'm loving these needles, and it took us about a year to get this produced. So very excited. Hopefully we don't sell out. We are selling them individually. So you can get a set of 12 size 26 and a set of 12 size 28. Now I use the 28s. I think Denise uses the 26. 28s. Okay, so Denise uses the 28s. I think Shelly uses the 26. So 28 I prefer on any brand because it's a little bit sharper and it's gonna go a little bit faster. So very excited to introduce this new product, and we will be giving away a set of one each to people in the live chat every 15 minutes. You don't need to spam chat. You can just comment every now and then, and you just have to be in the live chat. Like, you just have to be tuned in, and then the computer is going to randomly pick you every 15 minutes, and we will announce the winners, and we will tell you exactly how to claim your prize. So I'm going to jump right in. If you got the Stitch Quarterly, you did get a sample of the size 26 needle. So if you didn't know that, you can try that needle before you buy it. Okay, so I'm going to jump in with our brand new pattern releases. The first one has been so popular. Thank you to everybody for purchasing. This is Scrappy Americana Flag by Lori Holt. You can purchase this as a paper pattern or a PDF. It is in full color right there. Basically, you can purchase the, bless you, the Scrappy Americana Flag DMC thread pack. Lori is recommending the gingham thread bling to go with it, along with the egg floss drops. So the fabric we sold out of yesterday. So you can either use oatmeal 14 count or vintage country mocha 14 count. We have all of it on order. I actually sent an email this morning to see if one of our orders could ship out like expedited. So we should have that back any day. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the project. And first we're gonna pop up an image. We're gonna be doing a stitch along starting in April. And so this is the timeline. So by the end of April, we're hoping you have all of the 50 stars. And then by the end of May, you would have the stripes on the right. And then the end of June, the bottom stripes. And then the end of July, or by July 4th, you know, the border with the text and the finishing. The goal is to have it done by July 4th. And Lori did design this to be specifically, if you use 14 count, it will fit in any 8 by 10 inch frame. So Denise found this frame at Hobby Lobby. The SKU number is 575449. I don't know if it's available online. We just went to our local Hobby Lobby and found it. All of that information is right here. So basically there are two denims, so two blues. There are 3 different reds, and there are 3 different creams. And so basically, one of the creams is used every other spot, and then the other 2 creams are in the other 2 spots, if that makes sense. And then your light blue is here, and the same thing with the red. It's a mix of the 3 colors, if that makes sense. So like one of these reds is used throughout for that, just that square. One of the creams is used throughout just for that square. And then the other 2 are accents. This is going to be a pretty fun stitch. I have mine in here in this bag, and this is kind of how I've done it so far. Let's see, I have my board, another board, and then I've been putting all my floss in here, and mine, I did put on the floss drops. They're kind of messy right now, but I'm going to show you what I've done so far. This is Lori's a bag that she had made with Riley Blake, and it obviously goes along with the quilt pattern and the cross stitch pattern. I already had one of these. This is available as a paper or a PDF. And if you're going to stitch it on an 8x10, I would use 14 count, and the other sizes are listed on the back, which you can see online. And it's a really beautiful pattern. I'm going to show you how I'm going to be stitching mine. Mine is going to be pretty different. So this again is oatmeal 14 count or vintage country mocha 14 count. They're the same thing. I decided I am so done with brown, just in general. So I'm just going to start putting stuff on whiter fabric. The bag is the bag in stock. It is coming back in stock
next week, I believe.
It's coming. I think it's shipped next week. It's going to be here next week. So I wanted to go ahead and outline and kind of show you what I'm going to be doing. So I picked Natural Rustico 14 count Ada by Witchelt, and I just picked that because I used it on something else last year and I really liked it. Do you remember what it was?
Seed packets.
Oh, I used this on seed packets and I really liked it. And so what I decided to do is I outlined in a half stitch. Jordan, can you zoom in a little bit? Thank you. So what I did is I just did half of the stitch all the way around, and then I did all of the light blue stitches. So basically that is completely done. And then I started all of my creams just because that's super easy. You can go every other one, and then I put in a red just so I could see it. Now I don't think that the cream is going to be an issue because the red and the blue finish this off. So I don't think the cream is going to be an issue, even though it looks like it is going to be now. But I just really am trying to get away from brown in general, and so I thought this would look really good. So basically what I'll do is I will fill in for the month of April, I will fill in all of my dark blue, and then I will go back and put in my light, because I have found that if you put the light in first and then the dark over it, sometimes your light stitches get lost. So my plan is to just fill in all of the dark blue and then come back with the cream. Then what I'm going to do is I'll finish all of these cream squares, and then I will do, when I do the stripes and the sections, I'm going to do all the cream, and then I'm going to come back and do the reds, if that makes sense. So that when I'm stitching my cream, my red is not there first, because I'm afraid if the red is there first, it will pull into my threads. That's also why I kind of outlined here, so that all those cream stitches would be done and hopefully it won't pull through. Do the half stitches ever make the variegation look odd when they're crossed? So for me, Jacqueline, they don't. This is DMC, so it does not have color variegation. So as long as my tension is the same, then we should be fine. Now also, I always just keep the loop method. I don't keep the variegation together when there is variegation. If you do stitch the proper way, you would have a difference in the variegation. So it's kind of interesting because here I'm going to do all of my dark first and my cream last. Here, I did opposite. I did cream first and then red last. That's because these are thicker stitches and I don't think they're gonna get lost. But these little tiny stitches right here will get lost. So that's kind of my methodology around it. And I will do all these creams right here just around before I finish in the dark blue. And that is just so that I really just want to have kind of a base before I start. So if I'm going somewhere, I will just be able to come in, like if I was at an event, I could just fill in all these red blank squares since they're all the same. So that's what I'm going to be doing. We will have more of the oatmeal and vintage country mocha next week. We will have the bag next week. Everything else is in stock. And this one, just heads up, has been way more popular than we expected it to be. So that is why we didn't have enough fabric. When I'm using 14 count, I use 2 strands of floss. That's generally what I do. Let's see, somebody, Dana asked, am I traveling between the cream squares? And I am, for sure. So I'm traveling, some went down, some went, oh, I think they all went down. Some went sideways. Yeah, it's cream. I will always travel with cream. I wouldn't travel from here to here with red because I wouldn't want the red to show through on that cream. But I think it's, every person is different, and I feel like do whatever works for you, I mean, I think I do things totally different than Cheryl or Denise. So whatever works for you is what you should do. So this, I don't know, this didn't take me very long. This might have been 1 or 2 days. And Bex from Texas says she likes the vintage color. So this is called Rustico, Natural Rustico 14 count. And it does look a little crookedy, but that's okay. It'll straighten when Denise frames it because she'll pull it like that. Okay, so this is our newest pattern, Scrappy Americana, designed by Lori Holt. It basically mimics her quilt pattern that she did last year, and she made it fit a 8x10 frame if you're using 14 count. So very excited to release that and excited to show you my progress. I think the most fun for me is starting a project and finishing a project because I love to like plan it and decide what I'm gonna do, and then I love when I finish it. So I don't know, kind of my little tip. Our second newest pattern by It's So Emma is designed by Kim Deal. It's called Americana Trio. We just released this on Monday, and this is the pattern. It's available as paper or PDF, and just to show you, it is in full color and it is in very nice paper. It's a thick cardstock. So you can purchase the pattern as paper or as PDF. We also have the thread pack. She used DMC to stitch the samples, so Kim Deal stitched all of these samples. And in the back of the pattern, there are instructions on what size to cut these border fabrics and how to assemble them. And also there is a QR code on the pattern right here, and that will take you to a pillow finishing tutorial. So everything you need to make the pillow is there, and it's very easy. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this. This was stitched on Natural Light 32 count linen. So it's a little bit darker than the Vintage Country Mocha. And she used these fabrics right here are all they're scraps from Kim Deal's fabric collections. So Kim Deal is a fabric designer for Henry Glass. So she just used, what was in her stash. She used Shape Flex interfacing by Pellon, and that is listed in the pattern, and fiber fill for her stuffing. So super cute. I think this one's going to be really popular. Now, just as far as the sizes, they're all a little bit different, just so you can kind of see. So they range anywhere from 2 3/4 to 2 3/4 by 3, all the way over to like a 4x5. So they're all a little bit different. So again, American Trio designed by Kim Deal. And I'll just show you the backs again. And so this one should be pretty easy because of the finishing instructions that are in the pattern and the video that we are linking to. And since that is linked in the pattern, you should be able to find it. So thank you, Kim Deal. Now this next one, this is a pre-release or a sneak peek kind of. If you are a hometown neighborhood club member, you got this chart earlier this month, and we are at the very end of this club. You have received 10 patterns so far, or 9 patterns so far. There are 3 more. It's going to, can you zoom out? It's going to end in 2026. So this is the 4th from the last. So if you are a club member, you received this earlier in the month. If you are not a club member, this will be online on
March 27th.
March 27th. And it will be available as a paper or a PDF. This one is called Tulip House, and it is designed by Lori Holt. And each of her hometown neighborhood patterns each have their own individual thread pack. This sample was stitched by Cheryl on Farmhouse 25 count Lugana, which is the fabric. And so we have the thread pack online now. The pattern will be online March 27th. And then this is the fabric before it's stitched on if you want to see it. So those are our 3 brand new patterns that are published by It's So Emma. Now I'm going to move and show you some frame finishes and then some things I've been stitching. And all of the cross stitch patterns by It's So Emma, they are in color. So I got the quilted snowman back from the framer. And if you noticed on the original pattern, this is the frame Lori used, but she used a brown frame. So we use the same exact frame with just a white. And it kind of looks funny there, but I think it's just the lighting.
You have a winner picked.
Oh, we have a winner. Congratulations to GMAC111-K8U. You won the giveaway. Email Denise, DENISE, at fatquartershop.com. Just tell her your handle name on YouTube and your address, and she'll get that sent out to you. Okay, I'm going to show this to you front frame just because I think it looks better. Is that fine, Jordan? So I do have glass in it. I think it looks pretty good. I didn't change any colors, right, Denise?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, this one I kept exactly the same, and this one I did stitch on different fabric. I stitched on 14 count Vintage Country Mocha on the non-modeled side. So very, very exciting. So this one's pretty big. Okay, so this is the only thing I got back from the framer. And that's because Denise has been finishing a lot of my stuff lately. So we haven't had to take as much stuff to the framer, which Kevin really appreciates because he hates to see that bill on the American Express card. Okay, now I'm going to show you all the stuff I stitched and give you a little bit of info on it. So we went on a family vacation and we went to ski, and Miss Kimberly Jolly does not ski. I've done it twice and I'm done with that. I'm done with that part of my life. So I got to stitch a bunch because I had a long plain right there, a long plain right back, and a lot of free time to myself. So that is so exciting for me. So I purchased the 2026 Collector's Heart pattern by Heart and Hand when it first came out. And I had this pale gray gingham in my stash. It is by Fabric Flair. More is coming back in stock any day. Now this floss is by Cottage Garden Threads. And it's a mix of 2 different colors. I'm going to read you the color names. It's a mix of leather bound and vintage rose. Both of those are on order. They're not here yet. But when I did this, I wasn't thinking that she did the sample on a smaller count. So she did the sample on 32 count. Well, I ran out of thread. So because we didn't have the individual skeins of this, I just bought another pattern and went with it to finish. Now this one I did do where I kept the strands together, and I just kind of tried to do, I mimicked where she did all of her letters in the really dark colors. And then the rest, what I tried to do is like alternate. So there would be like a little bit of dark, a little bit of light. I tried to do each of these little frames a different color. I tried to just be even with my fabric or my thread placement. I don't think I would change anything. I think my letters, my numbers right here came out a little light, but I think it'll be fine in the end. I'm hoping this one will fit in just a frame from Hobby Lobby, so we will see. But I think it looks really good. I really did enjoy, I really enjoyed working with this thread. So I actually enjoyed it way more than I thought. I was worried that I would get in here and get like, do you ever have that like where you just get stuck and you don't know what to do? That's kind of how I felt like I was getting, but I thought, you know what, let me just kind of go with it and try not to think too much, like don't overthink it. And it came out pretty good. So, so love this. And just a warning, I mean, I should have thought about that when I bought this, that there wouldn't be enough thread, but Denise was like, yeah, there's not enough thread because you're using 14 count instead of 32. And I was like, oh, duh. Yeah, so I just didn't think about it. But I did love the variegated floss. Now, I tied this together, but the way that this is some are very light, some are very dark, and then there were some mediums. I think I took those, kind of the mediums out. I mean, stitched with them. So this is 2026 Collector's Heart. It's completely done.
Kimberly, when you were stitching that piece, did you think, you may have already said this, like in one area there was too much red, so then you cut your strand to show more of the pink or anything?
So what I did is I just kept the strands together, and I would just start and I would go until that strand was completely done.
Okay.
The only thing that I tried to make sure was only dark was these letters. I wish I would have done these numbers also dark like she did, but basically I would just do a circle, and kind of if I got to the end of a circle and I thought it looked good, I would cut the thread off, but it was only on the obvious places. So I would, you know, I would move. Oh no, I didn't. I kind of stayed within, but I just kind of did one strand as I went. I probably, if I would have been a little bit more careful and traveled a little bit more, I probably would have had enough thread. This fabric right here that I stitched on is 14 count pale gray gingham. The called for fabric is 32 count platinum linen.
Mm-hmm. And that's what came in the kit.
Oh, that's right. It came in the kit. Yes. So it comes in the kit, so you don't even have to buy it. I gave mine to whoever works here that wanted it. Because, oh, here it is. It comes with the kit. So this is your called for. So if you buy the pattern, you have enough thread to stitch on here. Obviously, I don't stitch on 32 counts, so that's why I ran out. I did do the entire X one at a time, and I did keep my strands together. So that took a little bit more time, but I still enjoyed it. Thank you to Diane for the super chat. So yeah, I did one X at a time. So this one really was outside of my comfort zone. Something different, but I thought, you know what? I always love heart and hand designs. And I just tried to not overthink it. And I did love that just with two, you know, just two skeins, I was able to do all of this. Think about if you had to buy all those colors, that would probably be 6 or 7 different skeins. So that's 2026 Collector's Heart. So I got that completely finished. And then the Quilting Bee sewing machine, I got this completely finished. So I used the called for thread pack, but I wanted to talk about the things that I did differently. Okay, so this is stitched on Cream and Sugar Fiber on a Whim 36 count. I stitched mine on Pale Gray Gingham 14 count. This pattern is available as a paper or a PDF, and like I said, I used the thread pack. I did have to add extra thread, and I'll tell you why. Now, with this club and this pattern series, there are 6 pattern series. Each one has its own thread pack because they're all different. So, let's see. I had to buy 1 extra Chesapeake Bay and 1 extra St. Bernard because I used that for my machine. So that was the first thing I did. Now, on the machine here, do we have the sample?
Yes. Okay.
On the sample, the sewing machine was stitched with green, and then the little circles right here, the 4 little circles were white. I decided just to do mine dark, so I flipped the dark and the light, and I'll show you with the sample, and you'll see kind of how I did it differently. I did chat with Lori, and that was kind of her advice to me. Thank you. So you can see the one that Denise stitched. There are 4 stitches around with that same color on the inside. I did the dark stitches around and then kept the same color inside. So I just made, instead of the 3 yellows, I did dark blue. That was one of the things I did. For the words, I actually stitched this and unstitched it. So I ended up going with Cherry Tomato for the words, Blushing Beauty for the dashed line, and then I used the same honeycomb as the zigzag. Now, with this, I just stitched, I wanted it to be green, but when I did it, it just was like way too much going on. I was worried that the pink here and the pink here were gonna be too close to each other, but the green just stuck out. And the red, it just was too much, so I needed something kind of in between, so I went ahead and went with the pink. On my border accents, right here you can see Denise's yellow stitching. That color is Ginger Snap. I just didn't fill it in because I think it looks good without the white. So that is what I did. And then this right here, I switched the location of these 2 right here. I just swapped them. And another thing is these had some brown stitches in them. I think I took that out. Yeah, I didn't do brown. I changed it to yellow. Now, I have a lot of leftover thread, so I wanted to talk about the leftover thread. This is all leftover. When the second pattern comes out, I'm not going to buy the second thread pack. I'm going to see what I have left over and just buy what I need in addition to, because I don't want to waste thread. So I try, at the end of my project, one thing that I did do is I recarded everything. I made it all really neat. Of course, it was thrown in my bag, but I did recard it so it would be very organized. So the second one is coming out in April. We are waiting for it. It will be released as soon as it comes back from the framer. And that one, if you want to start, the outside border is a green.
Yes.
Because I stitched it. I stitched part of it. I don't remember the exact color, but and then Lori is recommending her cute little needle minder. There's only 1 needle minder for the entire series, and I'm excited it's done. This one we are going to have framed at the framer, and probably what I'm going to do on this one is I'm just going to keep all 6, take them all at one time, so that when they frame them, hopefully they keep, when I go to the framer, they order frames. So what if they order it today and then in a year the frame color might be a little bit different? Or discontinued. Yeah, great point, Denise. So I'm just going to hold them and do them all at one time, and then hopefully Kevin won't see the credit card bill, but he will. So, let's see. This one, you can, oh, let's talk about this. So what I did on this one is for this lighter blue, St. Bernard, I did all of the light blue and I left the 5 squares empty. And then I just couldn't decide what to do on the dark. So I talked to Lori and she said, try the dark blue, and it looked good. You don't have to be a part of the club. You can purchase this pattern and the thread pack separately. These two are online now. As they go forward, the club members will get theirs first. Oh, and I think I did probably, I might have changed that. I'm not sure. But you can take a little photo from the screen if you want. I think it looks really good. This one did take quite a bit of time. But I love how it came out. If I had to do anything different, I might change this part right here. I feel like this gets a little lost, but I have some pop-ups to show you of great customer ones. And there's one in here that I particularly love that I would have done differently. So this one is from Screen Door Needleworks. She's making progress. And she's using 40 count cream and sugar by Fiber on a Whim, mostly called for classic color works with 1 addition and 1 color swap on the machine. And if you look at hers, I really want you to see she's keeping her threads together and she's doing 1X at a time because you can see the variegation. This is Treehouse Quilts. She stitched along with us. She's finishing her borders and she said, wouldn't the tomato pincushion look so cute stitched as a pillow? Oh, that's a great idea. And it looks like she kept the called for colors. This next one I absolutely love. This is Red Velvet Quilts. I totally love this. I love that sewing machine. It makes me want to stitch it all the way again. So she, if you want to follow her, her name is Red Velvet _ Quilts. So she used Cherry Tomato, Blushing Beauty, and DMC 5200, B5200 for the sewing machine. She made her pincushion green and she filled in the border where I left my stitches unstitched. Instead of using, what was it, honey? Ginger Snap, she used B5200. And then there's one more image. And this is from Hillary Jordan. She emailed this in. She did a center start with the adorable tomato pincushion. She's working her way out and she's using the called for floss and 14 count cream and sugar from Fiber on a Whim. So thank you so much for sharing all of it. Make sure you share all of your progress on all of your projects. The more pictures we see, the more we can share. Our winner today for the second set of needle packs is Debbie Lamprecht 8472. Email Denise at fatquartershop.com. Okay, so this next one I got a ton of progress on. So this is the Quilted Farm Girl. I am using the called for thread pack. I have not added any colors so far, but I do think I'm going to make some changes. So this is the one that Cheryl stitched. Denise, did Cheryl stitch this one or you?
Cheryl did.
Cheryl stitched this one. Okay. So this is stitched on Farmhouse 25 count. I'm stitching mine on Pale Grey Gingham 14 count. Okay. So, oh, sorry, talking points. So one thing that I was thinking is I think I should pull these stitches out right here and change them to white because I think they're too cream on my fabric. So I'm thinking I'm going to pull these, just this out and change that to white. I think it looks okay here in the flowers, but in here I think I just don't think it looks good. And then I don't think it's going to look good around my cherry. So I do think I'm going to do that. For the basket, I can have my thread back. I changed my girl dress to Dublin blue, which is darker. So I use this dark blue, which is this blue actually. So I can't have a dress and a basket the same color. So this is my thread. This is how I keep it. I have 2 browns in here, and I'm trying to decide what to do. I think I'm gonna purchase a different brown, actually. So,
Have you looked in your stash yet?
I'm gonna look at my stash, yeah. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do the small part of the basket, the light blue, in this straw hat. I don't think there's enough variegation between the hazelnut and the straw hat. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna go to my stash and find a dark brown for that. What I tried to do here was outline a little bit so that I would make sure I'm in the right spot. The pink was super easy because I didn't feel like the travel colored too much. I started outlining over here so I could fill in. So changed the dress. I do need to pick the 2 ruffles. So on this dress, Lori has a light gray, a dark gray, and then she has this cream right here, which is this cream right here. So I'm thinking, you guys can let me know what you think. I was thinking of putting the frosted sage as the ruffle and then doing bamboo as this line right here. And then I'm also thinking of, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the polka dots in a white, like the bamboo that I'm gonna switch to, or if I'm gonna keep that cream, because I am gonna create that cream color that is used is wild oats. And so that is used here and in the dots. I think it looks totally fine in the dots. I do not think it looks good here. I think it just gets lost. So I'm gonna pull those stitches out. Let me know what you think on the ruffle. My other option for my ruffle was to do, oh yeah, see, loose threads. I clean them up at the end though, I promise. The other option would be this one first. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking I might do all of this first and then come back and do the ruffle last. But I have lots of spaces where I can fill in. Now another thing that I need to pick, I did keep the boots the same. So I kept the boots the same, obviously changed the basket and this, still not there. I have no idea what to do for the hat because here the hat is gray. I think the hat might be okay gray with the blue skirt. But with the amount of changes I'm making at this point, I kind of thought maybe I should not worry about the hat right now. I should go back and change what I'm really comfortable with and then do the hat last. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I was, on the vacation, I was like, you know what? I think I'm making too many changes to where it's going to get too muddled. So I thought, well, that's why I stopped the outline here. And let me know what you think. People are saying some people like frosted sage, some people like the second option. So totally different. But I thought because I'm so stuck, I will just do all the parts. Oh, sorry. And then this is how I do this in my thread. I know this is gonna drive you all crazy. This is what I do. I'm not kidding. Now at the end, I will clean these up and then they go back in my stash. I don't throw them away, but in the middle of a project when I'm on a plane, that's how I roll. And yeah, the pink right here, I did travel here. And I just did that because I wanted to make sure that I was in the right spot. And this looks lighter over here because this is the second X is not crossed. So hopefully I have covered everything. I did do the 3 Bs. I did those all at the same time. Another thing that I changed, I know I'm so sorry, is these are 9 patches. And in here, there are that cream color, which is what's that color that you just said?
Wild oats.
Wild oats. So I'm not going to put that second color. I don't think it's needed. I think it looks good without it. So I kind of just left that. So sorry I made so many changes, but I think that's what's fun about crafting is being able to make it your own. And So then this I got so much progress on. Okay, this is the spring seasonal jars by Lori Holtz, and we are doing a sew along with it. This is one full pattern. It's the pattern for all 4 seasons. It's PDF only. So I actually, when I went out of town, I did not take enough projects. So this one I finished. The first thing I had is I had the jar with my stitch card in here. You do have to purchase the stitch card separately, and I had part of the shelf done. Did you tell him to stop?
Well, I can't, they're outside.
A text David.
Yeah.
So I got this done. Let's see. I don't think I changed any of the colors. Let's see. On that. Okay, I didn't change any of the colors there. And then I did not, let me see if that's got a fill in. Yeah, this had a fill in color. I didn't do that. I did change my color of this to DMC 08. So this is DMC 08. I changed that. I left this one open. Okay, on these, she had white, but that obviously is not going to look good with the fabric flare. So I'm going to use whatever the polka dot is in the pattern for my outline. So I got that done. So I have these 2 jars completely done. And then this one I was stitching, and I decided I did not like one of the colors. Here are the 4 thread packs, if you're interested. This right here is called for ecru, right here. And that probably looks really good on brown, but that is not going to look good on mine. So I went ahead, I'm going to tell you a little secret. So this color right here is 783. If you go to ChatGPT or Google, you can say, what DMC shades are slightly lighter than DMC 783? It's going to spit out colors. It spit these 2 out. I ordered them from Fat Quarter Shop, and I'm going to put one of them in here. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to do the lighter one so there's more contrast. So I'm going to do that. And this I just haven't finished filling in, and this I haven't finished. But, okay, that's 2 changes. This one, this one. Okay. Now the other thing is, these are the 4 stitch cards that you're supposed to use. Do you have the 4? Oh, these are the 4 that Lori called for. I'll put them like this, so I don't forget. Of course, I had to change mine. So what I was going to do is I had Alicia email me the PDF that goes here, but I couldn't figure out how to print it in the hotel, and Kevin was skiing. So I decided I would just finish my jars and then come back. So I'm going to, this is what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do a cherry in the green because I think that'll look really nice. I'm thinking I'll put the strawberry in the yellow because I think the yellow will tie in here. I always want something in the card to tie into the outside. So this green ties, the yellow ties, and then for the end, I'm either going to do this house or I'm going to do the called for, which is right there. So this is set I, set M, and set Y. I just have all of them in my stitch card box. So let me know what you think, or if I do the 2 flowers and the 2 fruit, I would do flower, fruit. I'd move this flower here and then put this fruit here. So I have to decide, yeah, all the stitch cards you order separately, they come in sets of 4, so you can just find one that you like all 4 of them. Of course, I change everything. So I'm thinking I might just do this, where this flower goes here, and then it's like flower, fruit, flower, fruit. So, and I am going to stitch all 4 seasons of the canning jars. This one will not be offered in paper. It's only PDF, and then the the cards are only paper. For me, the size, our brand new Kimberly needles are easy for me to thread. Yeah. And this fabric, again, 14 count pale gray gingham. I kind of stick with what I like. And that's why it's sold out, because I keep buying it. We have ordered, I will say a lot of the fabric companies are slow on delivery because Nashville just happened. So a lot of it has been ordered. We should be caught up soon as the fabric companies get caught up. And let's see, here's the back. So my back is neat. Kind of depends. Oh, on this one thing I did is I do all of the jar first. I outline the jar, fill in everything, and then the polka dots. I know they're technically not polka dots. I do those last, so you can see those go over the outside. So that is spring seasonal jars. Yay! And then this one, I kept putting it off, and the reason I keep putting it off is it's 16 count, and I can't go as fast. So this is Little House Needleworks Log Cabin Christmas. Chart 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I took the border from the Farmhouse Christmas series. So if you go to Little House Needleworks, the Farmhouse Christmas series, I use that border. If you purchase the thread pack, we printed it out for you because it's a free pattern. And then the only thing I changed is I changed my fence to be Trail Dust. I had it stitched in Pebble Beach, and I just didn't like it, so I unstitched it. And then, can you zoom in a little bit? I'm so excited because I'm doing my little stitches. So I feel like I did really good on the whiskers and really good on the whiskers. Now, the fox is supposed to have eyes, but I kind of just think it's fine. He can just not have eyes. And then this is supposed to be a French knot on the cardinals. I just didn't put a red stitch there and instead put a black X. So there's that. And I even did more. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's so exciting to be so caught up, right? Oh, we're going to have another winner. Jordan's computer is picking the winner. We're waiting for the winner. The computer's being slow. Okay, the computer picked Sarah Beckner 9028. You won the giveaway. So email Denise at factquartershop.com and you will get some free cross stitch needles. Okay, so I know I told you guys earlier about Caterpillar cross stitch, and I'm so excited that they're the needle minders. I'm so excited that they're bringing their product to the US. I'm sure you have seen her. I love her stuff. So I just wanted to show you, we have this pattern. We have some other new patterns. Forest Peaks. Okay, this one's called Liberty Stitches. Forest Peaks, Wandering Peaks, North America Venture, Hello Sunshine, Birthday Botanicals, British Isles Adventure, Bloom and Grow, I really like this one, and then Positivity Blooms. So her husband Tim told me as they come out with new patterns, they're going to put them on the website we can order from. These are all the patterns available now. So we've ordered all the paper patterns that are now available in America. I'm so excited. They're on very nice cardstock and they are on color. They're also color. So I was so excited to be able to do one of her charts that I took this one with me. Now I used the brand new fabric that we started carrying from DigiStitchery. It's called Gray Dot, and I bought the 14 count, of course. So it's similar to Fabric Flare in that it's digitally printed. So one side is digitally printed and one side is just white. So I was so excited. I got all my thread carded. And then what I did, there's a couple ways you can on these floss.
canning floss drops.
Canning floss drops, what you can do. There's a couple things you can do. You can either hand write like I did on the others. I'm going to show you, actually, I think it's Denise's handwriting. So you can, I'm going to kind of talk about how you can sticker these.
No, these are farm fresh.
Oh, there's another one, but that's okay. You can basically write on them with an Identa pen. So that if Denise cards it, that's what she does. And this will work on any of Lori's floss drops. So this one, these, any of them. So I had the little DMC package at home, and I did not have the Identa pen. First of all, I would not trust myself with an Identa pen. So I stickered them with the DMC, but then I was trying to get cute, and I thought, you know what? I could sticker them with these. These are too big. So these are the Pip and Chip colored. These are too big to color. This one, I kind of feel like if you put this color on this color, it's just all too much. So I decided with these that are the ones that are colored from Lori, I'm just going to stick with the regular DMC stickers. The only thing I'll say is some of them don't stick. After you've had it for about 5 years, 2 of them came off because I think my stickers were just old. So there you go. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the chart. So in the chart, there are 3 blues. And this is similar to Lori's chart where there's just a couple colors. So there's 3 blues, 2 reds, and 2 pinks. So what I thought I would do is I just picked the first 2 colors that I saw on the chart. And I just stitched all of that blue. I will go back and fill in the rest of the blue and the white. But I'm going to kind of do this in sections. I'll do this, 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 and this. Very easy to see, great pattern. And one thing I do love about her patterns is all of her finishing is very simple. So she often just uses a flat board on the back or even no border. So I think that's a different way to finish, which is really great. Loved making this one because it's a new designer. Just love it. Now, I will tell you, this is my first time working with the Digi Stitchery, and I love it. Let me compare it to the Pale Gray Gingham real quick. I think one of them is next, right? Shelly's next. So
That's what's new, I think.
oh, no. Okay, so I wanted to compare the thickness of this. This is a little bit, I'm trying to think of the word, Denise. It's not as soft, but it's thinner. So this is like softer, thicker, thinner. So thinner. I'm trying to just
Like the fabric consists
it's thinner, but it's stiffer. This is softer and thicker. But I love this because my new needles, they just go right through it. So I found this easier to work with than Fabric Flare. So I might be converting over to a lot of this. We do have some new colors coming out from this company that I'm going to show you next. And
does it stay crunchy as you're working with it? Like, does it loosen up?
it
or
really
anything?
didn't. Like, and it's not even like, it was in my bag like this. And it's just like, I feel like it just goes back to its regular, it really did not soften. And you can see this really did soften. So I love both. They're both 14 count. As long as it's 14 count, it works for me. But I did find that I liked this. And I thought that was great that I found another vendor that I liked because obviously I like to stitch with all kinds of things. And I'm very excited about this. I'm going to show you in the What's New section all of the Digi Stitchery fabric. And Shelly's going to be next. She's going to show you all of her stitching. But let me answer a couple of questions first. The stitch cards are not available as a complete set because that would just be super expensive. The 36 count was done with 1 strand.
Correct.
When do I think Teresa Koget's celebration will arrive?
It's here.
It's here.
It's here. The glasses I use are the 5.0 by Lori Holt. They're the pink ones. They are sold out. We did a whole nother print run on them, I guess is what you call them. So, do I still railroad my stitches? If it's white, I always do. If it's like a darker color, kind of depends. What is the cross stitch piece behind me? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It is Square Dance by Heart in Hand, and this is a little.
I was testing her knowledge, Jordan.
It's like a little boxy box. Do we still sell it? I don't even know if we.
Sure. It was like a jewelry display.
It's just very inexpensive, and then there's foam behind it, and then these are just finished, and then they just kind of stick.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't even remember.
Oh,
how
let me
I
put it
finished
on. Let me put it on the table.
Is it by the Angie?
I think it is. Anju jewelry. No.
Maybe.
The 12 compartment?
Yeah.
Okay, do the top camera, so you can kind of see. I did this stitch this like a long time ago.
Oh, we still have some, so I'll link it in chat.
Yeah, so we'll order more too if we're low. And then this was stitched on 25 count. That looks like 25 count. What do you think I stitched that on? I have no idea.
You did? I figured you would have done Ada.
It's not Ada, I know. So who knows what I stitched that on? I don't know. And the buttons came with the pattern. Okay, let me see what the next questions are. How do I unstitch with scissors? That was a question. I do not unstitch with scissors. I unstitch with my needle. There's also a, what's it called, Denise?
Unstitcher?
There's also this unstitcher, and it's basically similar to the thickness of a
Needle. Size
needle, but it's thicker and it doesn't bend like a needle. So sometimes I'll use this. I mean, I might use scissors, but I do not trust myself to use scissors. So I really just kind of like unstitch a couple, clip the thread, unstitch a couple. Now, everyone else in this room, we've all discussed it. Denise, Alicia, Shelly, Cheryl, they all use scissors. They also are not as hyper as me, and I think they have a calmer demeanor, and they're not going to poke a hole in their fabric. I don't trust myself.
Well, Shelly and I are a little wild, and we use a seam ripper.
I use a seam ripper.
Y'all use seam rippers? I would cut with that seam ripper right through the. I'm too amped up to. Yeah. Can you do the stitch cards as a club? No, because they're already all out now. Do I know how many hours the flag stitch took? Oh, maybe 3. Maybe. And that was all done on a plane. All of it. I mean, I'm talking everything. Like, there was, yeah. I was sitting next to some kids that might belong to me, might not. And these 2 kids, they like to wrestle. But I will say they were much more behaved than the other kids on the plane. It's funny now that they're teenagers because now they see these babies on planes and they look at them. And I'm like, y'all stop looking. They'll like stare at them like, y'all need to behave. And I'm like, y'all can't do that. These parents are going to attack you. And they're like, they need to be quiet. I'm like, that's not how this works. Y'all know how to behave. Most kids do not. Will the Scrappy Americana flag DMC pack be in stock soon? Yes. So DMC was super slow. There's like 2 or 3 colors that we don't have, and that's what's holding us back. But everything is ordered. Do I recommend if the thread keeps shredding in 14 count to use a conditioner? It did not help. Okay, hold on. I want to read it again. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I think I know what she was saying. She was saying she uses DMC as shreds, and also thread conditioner was not helping her. I would use a shorter thread length. So if you were starting with 36 inches, maybe do 18 inches. What is the quilt behind me? It is a shortcut quilt called
Layer Cake Crumpets.
Layer Cake Crumpets. And you know what's funny is y'all both just said crumpets differently.
No, we didn't.
Yes, you did. Because I was like, I don't know what either one of y'all are saying.
Well,
I
it's
think-
from a different state, so it's fine.
I think this is popular because 14 count, DMC, and 8x10 frame, very beginner, budget friendly. Agree. How do I use the magnetic board? So I put my pattern on that board and I use a needle minder And I'm coming out with a new product I'm so excited about, but I can't tell you. I don't want to give it away. Would Mushroom Ada work with the Scrappy Americana thread pack? Yes. You know, that might be mushroom.
That's what I was thinking.
That might be-
mushroom or like platinum.
That might be mushroom 28 count. I think it's 28. I don't think it's 25. Can anyone here stitch a Lazy Daisy on the air on a 16 count Ada?
Shelly just tried to do a Lazy Daisy, so you'll
saying
hear
no.
her feedback, but I don't think she's comfortable to actually do a demo on it.
But Cheryl,
Not on the floor.
will you do a Lazy Daisy demo on another week for 16 count?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd do it on another week, but I'm not doing it today.
Okay, so on a
Never
different
do it.
week, yes. Okay, are these our replacement for Pat Carson needles developed by you? So I did not try to copy her needles. We went out to different vendors and we said, we're interested in cross stitch needles, send me samples. And we got samples from I don't know where for 2 years, and I hated all of them, and literally would just be like, these needles, the second I used them, I fell in love. And then I was stitching and I was like, I gotta text Denise. And I don't like to text my employees after hours. I really try not to. But I was so excited. I was like, Denise, did you try the needles? Because whenever they come, we would like divide them up between us. And she was like, yes. And anyway, that's how we found them is we just asked vendors for what they had available. Is there only one sewing machine from the Quilting Bee release so far? Yes. So there's only, like, this one is a sewing machine. The next one's going to be like
Pins and pin cushions.
pins and pin cushion. Then there's like an iron. Do I like stitching the log cabin? I like it, but I don't love it. The reason I'm stitching it is I really want it to match my previous farmhouse Christmas, because I want to put them in the same place in my, well, not in the same place, but like next to each other in my house. But I have just decided I'm not doing brown anymore. So after this one, I'm just not doing brown. Okay, so now I'm going to welcome Shelly. She's going to show you all her fun stuff. And I will be back to show you the What's New section in a little bit.
I'm gonna borrow this for a minute because there was a question about
Yes.
this fabric.
Yes.
Okay, good morning, everybody. There was just a question. I'm gonna go back to something Kimberly was working on, the Digi Stitchery, and somebody asked, is it crunchy? They had another question about it. I've used it as well. I really like it as well. It's not, it's definitely stiff, but it's also soft at the same time, and it's very easy to work with. Like she said, your stitches just go through it. So I don't feel it's as crunchy as like the ginghams that Kimberly likes to use, but it's soft, but it's stiff.
Yeah.
Until you use it, there's not a really good way to explain it. It's so easy.
Have
to
you
work on.
used like a Zweigart fabric that's not dyed, like just straight off of the bolt from Zweigart?
Yes, I had.
Would you-
Yeah,
Would
that
you say that's similar to that, or not?
I would say that is definitely. I would call that crunchy.
Okay.
This, it's soft and stiff. If you
Okay.
can be both, this is soft and stiff. I don't give it the crunchy designation it goes into your hoop easier than the straight, than a Zweigart. I can't say that word very well, Zweigart. It goes into your hoop much easier. I think it also goes into your hoop easier than the ginghams. What are those by Fabric Flair? Because I have a finish to show you that I use that with, and that I had a lot more trouble getting it into the hoop and nice and tight than these go into your hoop really nicely. Okay, and so the timer just went off again. We had another giveaway, and it's for Adrian Klaus 9814. So if you can email Denise, DENISE, at fatquartershop.com with your mailing address, she will get those out to you. Congratulations. Okay, now let's look at my progress. So I had a finish. Here is Blooming Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. They're not both gonna fit, so I'll just put this guy up here. Again, I love these little guys. They take me about a week and a half. I like to do them as sort of a palette cleanser in between other big projects. I think the colors are great. I tend to use the DMC. On this one, I did go with a different color for the clouds and the white fences because it just wasn't showing up with any of the DMC that I was using. So I used Antique White by Classic Colorworks, and I did do full X's all the way across and all the way back so that they would show up even better. So I really like that. There's some other changes because I just wasn't paying attention. I don't think this door is supposed to be pink, but I think it worked out just fine. In the end, I think it was supposed to be green like the roof. These are Lazy Daisies that somebody asked about a moment ago. This is the first time that I had done them. I just watched a YouTube video over and over again to make this one, and then I did this one without watching. You are supposed to put colonial knots or French knots in the middle, and I'm just not doing that because I have tried so many of those and it's just not working out, and this is my fun craft and I'm not going to make it stressful. These little guys up here, the flowers on top of these stems, were also supposed to be French knots, and I just made them little X's and I put them off center. One is on center so that they are just sort of in the breeze.
Someone's asking if that's a blue chicken.
It is a blue chicken right there. I love that blue chicken. I have blue chickens at home, so this made me very happy. I kept it
What?
blue.
It's a chicken.
You have blue chickens?
Yes, they have very gray bluish. Yes, I do.
This is gonna be a conversation after stream because now I'm curious.
Okay, so wait. Okay, Jordan thought it was a bird. Is it blue on the pattern?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
right there. I'm calling it a chicken because I have chickens, so I just went with the chicken because of these. I guess maybe it is a bird. It doesn't really have a wattle or a comb, but for me, it's a chicken. And now that I see that, I might add a little bit of red on top and a little bit of red down here to make it a chicken. So,
Like feathers?
I used the DMC, except for this one up here, and this is Antique White by Classic Colorworks. Cheryl and I went down, and I think we pulled 7 or 8 different whites between Weeks, DMC, and Classic Colorworks, and this is the one that I like the best on here. Oh, this is I stitched this on 14 count Kimberly's Pink Gingham by Fiber Flare. Let's see there. Oh, so that is all the notes
Did you mention your thread?
I have on that.
What did you use called for?
It's the DMC
Oh, sorry.
conversions that she has on here, except for that one. Okay, let's see what's next.
Do you know how we're finishing it? Someone's asking if about like a drum. I've never done a drum before.
Oh no, I don't know. There's a drum. The last one like this, Denise finished for me on a board with 2 layers of fabric behind it. And I think I want to do all of the Tiny Town
Like that?
to display them at different times. So I've already been looking at my stash for sort of springish fabric. I've got some chicken fabric, so
It's similar, like it would be similar to the pattern cover, right?
Yes. The way
Yes,
the
oh, yes. Yes, except instead of this ruffle, we put 2 layers. We put, what do you call it? 2 backings
Yeah,
on
like
it.
2 fabric mounting
2
boards.
fabric
And
yeah.
then I want to say we added
There was
like a
some,
vintage trim or
yes.
like something trim related on it.
there was a pink vintage trim on the Valentine. Yes, that is correct.
The question.
Oh, let's see here. No, these blue chickens that I have lay, I can't remember their name right now. I got them because they lay the super, super dark brown, almost chocolate colored eggs.
Is that the color of the
Coco
ears?
Morans, maybe? No, they have red ears because Denise asked me recently how
Oh, yeah.
the difference in white eggs and brown eggs, and I told her your chicken's ears covers will tell you what color
This was a whole
eggs.
Are
conversation.
you joking?
No,
No, I thought
joking.
you know, like the brown eggs were like healthier for some reason.
No.
I don't know.
There are blue chicken eggs though, and they come from Americana chickens, which are also sometimes called Easter eggers. You get different shades of blue and different shades of green. I have blue eggs at home. If either of my children were at home, I would send you a picture this morning. I'll try to remember to send you a picture
Yes,
of.
please.
I should lay out all my eggs. I have pink, blue, chocolate brown. I have all the colors.
But are they edible?
Of course, yes, it's just
It's an egg.
It's just an egg.
Okay.
It is
So,
just an
so
overlay.
Joanna Figueroa has the Americana chicken, so that's the only reason I know what Americana chicken is, and that it lays a blue egg because I read it on her blog. That's all I know about chickens.
There's also green eggs from olive layers, yes.
I feel I'm uneducated.
And
in
so I
this
tend to
clearly.
I pick my chickens first on if they can tolerate the Texas heat, and then what color eggs am I going to get? That's the only way.
What do you mean? Do you ask the breeder if they tolerate the heat, or you just buy them and see?
Oh no, I've just studied all the different chicken breeds, and I know
Oh.
which ones do better in heat. Because some of them, like if it's a bird that gets really heavy, they don't do as well in our heat.
What
You
if
need
we bring a chicken one day for the live stream? That would be hilarious.
One, I think Kevin would just escort us all out of the building.
Okay, we're gonna move on from chickens now and talk about dragons. So the fall folk dragon, I have some progress on it. And honestly, I don't remember. I should have looked what my progress was the last time I showed you. I think I've gotten all of this filled in, so now I know how wide. That's always a good thing when you see that you've cut your fabric the right size. And this is all filled in, and I believe I've filled in all of this since the last time. It's a tiny modernist pattern. These are DMC colors. What am I stitching? This is on a 14 count cobalt by Fiber on a Whim. All right.
That looks so good though.
Oh, thank you.
Who are you making it for?
I don't know yet.
Not me?
Jordan's
So Jordan's just
requesting
put
the
his name
pattern.
on the list. It's also, when I stitch things and when I make quilts, I usually don't have somebody in mind until they're like done, and then it hits me like, oh, so-and-so needs this, and then I give them away. So I won't know till it's done. Thank you. Okay. Next, we got in the fabric that I wanted to use for houses on Stitchery Lane, and 2 patterns. This is a 9-month, do we call this a block of the month? So it's running through September, and we have month 1 and 2. So this was the Stitchery house, and I've just gotten started on Rick Rack.
Wow, that looks
House.
good.
No, I really like it with the DMC. This, you'll see. The only thing I haven't done yet over here is I haven't filled in the house, and this is going to be like car trip or something like that. I'm saving that for something like that. I am doing all 9 on one piece of fabric. So these 2 borders right here are not part of the monthly patterns. You have to go to their website, Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, and on their website they have a PDF for you to download for the border. There will also be like a checkerboard design that's going to come in between the rows.
What fabric is it?
So this is, what did I choose? 16 count sugar cream pie by Bestitch Me.
And it's the 26 by 35 inch piece.
Yes, the big, yeah. Sorry, I don't know where it is. Yes, and this, I also think this is great fabric to work with if you like Ada. And for a 16 count, I don't feel I'm really getting slowed down with it. I think it's very easy to see. It's very easy. Your needle goes right through it. It is a really big piece of fabric, and I was going to try to keep it the whole size, and I couldn't take it over the weekend, and I cut it down. So now it's the right size, because it was just, there was a lot in my lap. So, yep, that's all the notes on that.
Is 16 similar to 14 in that you only stitch over 1 square?
Yes, you only stitch over 2 threads. You only stitch over 1. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I have a new start. The Book Goddess came out from Tiny Modernist. Drop my notes. Okay. This is a 16 count. It's called Sugar Plum Fairy, and it's by Tiger Lily Designs. Cheryl had given this to me a little while back, and I pulled it out, and I've been working on it. I didn't like it very much yesterday when I had this much finished. That last night while I was working on it, and I had, you know, more than just a single strand, I like it more as I'm working on it. Made a big mistake here last night. I had to pull all of these out because it was one off. My rows were all too short.
And you pull those out with a seam ripper?
If it was a really big, like if it was down here, a big area, I would have just with the seam ripper, or like this line, I would just take that out. But these were a little trickier, and so I just pulled them out with a
We should
stitcher.
do a demo of how to do it because I would have never thought you could seam rip across a bunch of stitches.
I just come up underneath
It's a breeze.
this X and just go, and then I take out the floss fairy wand, and it pulls it right out for some tweezers. So,
Y'all are brave.
okay. Okay, and this just happened last night when I was putting everything together at home. My husband purchased his own birthday present on Monday. So I decided I'd make him this for his birthday, and this is it. This is what because he purchased tickets to an event in Austin and said he'd like everybody to join him. So we will be joining him in Austin next month at something. And so I said, I'll just stitch this up. I think I can get it done by his birthday. But I pulled out of my stash last night. I thought, oh, it might look pretty on this. And we went down. I didn't have all of the threads at home, so I went down and pulled the threads this morning and said, nope, that doesn't work.
And this, for people, is a floss, what
This
we
is a
consider
floss
the
drop,
floss
yep.
toss. I know someone asked a couple weeks ago, like, what it is, how do we do it, and it's essentially what Shelly's explaining.
So this one is not going to work on here. You're not going to be able to see it, and it shows up quite a bit on the pattern. So I'm going to keep looking. It does. She stitched it on. Oh, I didn't. This is Caffeinate by Heartstring Samplery. Sorry, I didn't say that. She's stitching it on Tea Earl Grey Hot by Lap and Loops, and I think I have that at home in my stash. I pulled mostly the DMC colors, did pick a couple from weeks that I'm going to use with it, grits and porpoise, because there were some DMC that we didn't have. But I'm going to have to look today to see if there's a different color I like here, and then also check that one out at home. But hopefully I'll have progress on this one.
So are you going fabric, like are you set on the fabric first? Like are you going with the thread or the fabric? Yeah.
I'm going with the thread. I'm not going to use this fabric.
Oh, okay.
No, I pulled this out last night and I was like, oh, coffee might look really pretty. This is oh gosh, I'm sorry, I didn't write this down. This is like, oh, here it is. This is a 16 count Old Gold by Fiber on a Whim, and you can't see it as well on here. It looks a little more mustard to me on camera, but it's much deeper. It's very gold, I believe, in person. So I thought, oh, that would look pretty, because this was not my plan to start stitching this, and then I started looking at things, but I don't like it this morning. I like the color, the floss colors a lot more, and so I want to find something that's going to work better with these.
2 questions. The first one, you did a coffee piece for him
For Christmas.
for Christmas,
Yes.
I think. What fabric did you use for that one? Do you know?
That's a really good
Or,
point.
like, would
It
you
was something
consider,
out of my
like-
stash. It was a
Yeah.
leftover piece of something. I'm not sure. I should look. I have it
I
written
probably
down.
have notes.
No, I have my note.
Because I was going to say, if you wanted it to match, that would be a cool option. Because I want to say they're both by the same designer. The one that you did for.
I
Christmas.
used Taupe Dyed Effect by Fabric Flare. Oh, we have another winner of needles. This time it's Nancy Barnes 4273. So email Denise, DENISE @fatquartershop.com with your mail address, and she will get those in the mail to you. Congratulations. That's a really good idea, Denise. I should look and see what I did the other one. I did another one from this, she calls it the Magical Elixir series.
You did Coffee Drinker's Confession.
Yeah, coffee, yep. That was part 5. Looks like this is part 7. So that's a good idea. I'm going to see if I have any of that left at home and how these colors, it's probably using a lot of the same colors. Or maybe not. I didn't have a lot of these in my stash. So I'll take a look and see.
Second question is the Floss Fairy wand. Someone didn't know what that was. I don't know if you have one or if there's one in the drawer. It reminds me of a mascara brush, essentially. Except just without the mascara.
Okay. Here's the Floss Fairy wand. Comes in this tube. And once you have a little piece that you need to get off, you just kind of, it's like a super hard pipe cleaner. It's soft, but it's definitely got more texture than a pipe cleaner, and you can just brush it away. It also has a rough end back here that you can, if there's some stubborn pieces, you just use that and you can brush those away.
I've never used that end.
Oh, I don't know if you're supposed to, but I do.
Well, I know, but that's a good tip. I've
I
never
should
used
look at
it.
the packaging and see. I just assume maybe it's sparkly because it's a fairy wand, because there are definitely sparkles here. And Cheryl, do you ever use this end? No? Okay.
Well, we're going to try it.
Cheryl told me about this. Yeah, I used this on, okay. There you go. Try that end too if you have some stubborn ones that won't come out with this end. So, okay. Are there any other questions? That's all I have.
Yes. I do have, is Alicia next?
No, sure.
Cheryl, well, whoever, someone commented if there is any Dr. Pepper cross stitch designs, and just so you know, me, Alicia, Cheryl, and Kevin are huge Dr. Pepper drinkers. So if y'all know of one, please send it our way. Because we would be stitching and drinking a Dr. Pepper.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Good morning, and yes, my husband tells me I have a mild Dr. Pepper addiction, and that might be true. This one will be fast. For the month of March, I've had one finish, and that was the Flag House by Lori Holt in the Hometown Neighborhood Series. I've only had one new start, which is here.
Oh, the flag house is at the framer.
Yes, Flag House is
Oh,
at the
yeah,
Framer.
so we can't
I was gonna say it's in my
yeah.
office. I can grab it. Yeah. Yes.
And so this is the next house in the series, which is the Strawberry House. So clearly I've just started the strawberry plant here. So this month, the month of March, I have missed more days stitching than I have possibly in years. My daughter had surgery, and I went to be with her, and I got 0 stitching for almost 2 weeks. So I have a little bit of progress, but only a little. So let's see. First progress I will show you is in Teresa really needs to stop with the stockings, because I have a Halloween stocking by her that's just decorative, not a stocking to use, but then the Midnight Santa, and now the 1776, and the Lily's chickens. And Shelley, you're going to do Lily's chickens with me?
I
have it on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got, yeah.
So my progress for Naughty or Nice, since you saw it last, I put in this little snowflake, which is not showing up really on camera. I filled in all of the house. I have one little holly leaf with its berries there. Completely filled this in, and these 2 holly berries done, and got a pretty decent start over here. And all of this I was able to add this tan on him. So hopefully in the next month, I can get a little bit more progress. This is done on 20 count Vintage Country Mocha with a call for floss, which is all DMC aside from the 2 reds or Weeks Dye Works. And at the top, the cuff portion, and down here behind these look like quilt block stars. I believe the called for was Classic Colorworks Eggshell, and on my fabric it didn't show up at all, so I changed that to Classic Colorworks Lighthouse, simply because it looked better on the fabric. And then the next one is the Love is the Key, also by Teresa, and I did make a little bit of progress on it from when you saw it last. When you saw it last, this flower was not complete. His shirt was not complete. I added the white cuff in his hand here, finished his coat or jacket here, added his tail, both legs. This one has part of one line and one more line to have that one complete, but that's where I ran out of thread and had to stop. So my plan is to complete his jacket here, finish off his foot. There's another heart here, and then I'm thinking I might do some border work because I have not done anything on the border in several months. So I'm beginning to think that possibly this could be a finish maybe in a couple months. And this is stitched on 36 count cappuccino by Fiber on a Whim. 1 strand over 2.
How big is Love is the Key?
Love is the Key is, the stitch count is 273 by 193. I don't know if it gives let's see, on 40 count, the finished size is approximately 13.5 by 9.5. So mine is slightly larger than that on 36 count. My Halloween stitch progressed only a little. This again is A Witch's Hollow by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and I understand I did have to mismark it because of my daughter's surgery, but I had some reports, and one was that you actually spoke to Aaron with Autumn Lane, and he was told some things about this design and a few of others of his that might be in the works. I added some fill in on this tree and came back up here and did a little bit through here, and this is the fence right above, let's see, right in here. That's where I'm working. And so I plan in March the 13th. I typically will work on Halloween piece the 13th and the 31st. And so we have yet to have a 31st this month, so I'll get a little bit more work done on it. The 13th in March fell on a Friday, so I worked that Friday. So really about all that I stitched on it was just that evening after work and dinner, so not much. This is 32 count Pumpkin Patch by Me Stitch Me, which we did order and sold out, and she does this fabric as a seasonal offering, so, but really any mottled orange fabric would work for it. That is 32 count linen. Did it on 32 count because I really wanted the saturation of the black, and I believe 32 counts what was called for. And then the last little bit of progress I had was yesterday on the American Sampler. So I believe the last time I showed it, I had the A, M, E, and a few stitches on the R, so I completed the word. I put in these 3 little stars, added the red in this flag, and did this little section of roof. So I came down here and worked just right here on the roof. So I might kind of focus the next work that I do on it, I might kind of focus on border and bring some more of my border across both the top and a little bit more of it down, and then go back and work in the center. And like I said, had hoped maybe to have a new start on a market piece, but I just literally had no time. So that is,
show this one?
oh, okay. Thank you. So here is the flag house. That's finally completed. So that was my one and only finish for March so far. And I don't anticipate, since this is the 25th, I don't anticipate having another finish in March. So that is it for me. So
Oh,
Elise
wait.
is next.
Did you show that?
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to start with my first little start. We finally got Teresa Koget's Nashville patterns in, and Spring Rain is one of my top picks from Nashville. And so I'm doing this one on Daisy Delight by STITCHY. And so I just added the little ear here. And I was showing Denise this morning the called for thread. Well, you can either use Weeks Dye Works Light Khaki or DMC Ecru. This one, it just looks a little too yellow for my liking, and the jacket is also going to be yellow, so I think that'll just clash a little too much. This is the color for the jacket, Honeycomb by Weeks Dye Works. And so I think I'm going to unstitch this and try Ecru and hope that looks better. But I just wanted to show that little start.
What fabric is that?
Daisy Delight, 14 count by STITCHY. And I really like this fabric. I love
Really cute fabric.
the little flowers. I think it's so cute. So that's my first little start. I literally started that yesterday just to do something. Edgar Allan Poetry by Tiny Modernist. I think I just filled in all the way down here, made some work there, and I'm going to start filling in this side. I always keep changing the way I'm going to like progress on this pattern, but I really love this fabric. And we have a winner. Who is it going to be? Well, the fabric I used is Spooky Hollow Lighter 18 count by Fabric Flare. And at first when I used this, I thought it was real stiff, but now it's
Definitely got
yeah,
loose.
like real flimsy.
Oh, your edges, do you have them serged or anything, or like paint?
No, it's just fraying.
That's how mine are.
I'm like, I thought about doing the pinking shears, but maybe I'll do that.
Are you using 2 strands, Alicia?
I do use 2 strands. I do the loop method. So, is there a winner picked?
Yes.
It's coming right now.
The winner is Kathy Rackrow. Rackow? Oh, sorry. You won the giveaway, so just email Denise at Fat Quarter Shop with your address, and then we will get those needles sent to you. The next progress I have is Pink Coat Santa by Teresa Koget. So I added the little snowman, which I told Denise I was doing this on Monday, I believe, and I missed 1 stitch. I got all the way up to here and realized I was off by 1 stitch, and so I just had to redo the arm and then the white up here, but it wasn't that bad. So I used my seam ripper and unstitched it all, and then added just 1 stitch along here, and now it's all good. I was going to leave it. You probably wouldn't have noticed, but it would have driven me crazy if I knew I was off by 1 stitch. I think to complete the snowman I need to do the mouth, which is is that a straight stitch? I don't know.
Probably. It's either a straight stitch or a back stitch.
Oh, back stitch.
I'm like, you could do either.
So I'm like, I'll need some
Yeah, we
guidance
got you.
on that. But yeah, I really like this fabric for this pattern. I think
It matches really good.
this will be really cute when it's done. And this is Pink Sand 28 count by Witchelt. So let's progress on that. My next two are stitched finishes, which this one, I've been doing the Shepherd's Year by October House. So this one is March, and I'm using Cream and Sugar 14 count by Fiber on a Whim. You can kind of see the clouds, not really. I did change the color of the clouds to, I think it was Blanc by DMC is what I used. The called for was Whitewash Weeks Dye Works, which I did use whitewash here, but it didn't really show on the cloud, so I just used Blanc for that. And so now I'll be starting April once we get more fabric. I ran out of fabric, and I think we're out of stock still on Cream and Sugar 14 count. So once that comes in, I'll start on April, because I do want to use the same fabric for all the remaining months. And then my last piece,
This one's my favorite.
Garden Goose by Erin Elizabeth.
That is really cute.
This was her Nashville release, and this was also one of my top picks, so I was like, I need to start this and do this right away. I did want to do this piece on the Daisy Delight fabric by DigiStitchery, but I just thought it's too much flowers going on. And so Denise and I spent a couple minutes going back and forth on what dot I wanted to use, and this one is white, is it
The petty point?
petty?
Is it petty point?
So yeah, it's-
White petty point on raw natural.
yeah,
32
count. And so I really love this piece. I think it's so cute.
That's
How
really
did-
cute.
When we were picking the fabric, I told Alicia, stitching on this white petty point versus, you know, like a fabric flare or the DigiStitchery, like the dots, like it's not part of the fabric. It's like an ink layer on top, so it does.
It won't fit.
I know, but
Yeah.
look, we got this new frame. It would be so cute if it would have fit.
I know. So I told Alicia, like, the holes may look different in that section of the dot just because it's like an ink layer on top of it rather than like within the fiber. How did it work? Did you have an issue or anything
Not really,
with it?
no. Like, I know you said it probably would have
Like been
put more
stiffer?
force
Yeah.
on the needle to get it through, but I think it was fine.
That's awesome.
Um,
How long did it take you? I feel like we picked fabric on the weekend and then like Monday.
yeah, I stitched
showed
pretty
me
much
stuff.
like all week, and I think I finished this on Monday evening when I got home.
Did you do called for colors?
I did use called for colors. Didn't change anything. I know Denny was like, get up from the couch, do something. And I was like, no, I have to finish this piece. I love this piece. It's really, really cute. And I think we sold out of the pattern, but more are on the way. So, yes.
It looks so good.
Thank you.
If
And
Kevin told me to get up off the couch, I might shoot him with a gun.
but yes, that's all for now.
Where's the sun?
I have put that one down for a little bit.
Which one?
The summoner.
Oh.
My poor husband. It'll get done eventually.
Okay, show your little notes and how cute they are on that cute little.
Oh, so I think we ran out of this, but
I know, but we ordered more. It's
yeah,
so
and
cute.
it's shipped. It's I guess it's called Butter Not Forget Notepad
It's
from
cute.
Rifle Paper. But yeah, I use this for notes and stuff
I think
at
it's
work.
cute because they use handwritten notes, and if I had handwritten notes, you wouldn't be able to read a dang thing because my handwriting is so horrible.
And next is Denise.
Are you gonna put the whole thing on the table?
No, I wasn't planning
I think you should. It's so funny.
Do you want to start with March or the Stitch Quarterly?
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
this
gosh,
is
look at her-
just
look at her ugly.
partial. Don't be fooled. There's not much stitching in here. First, I'll start with March Stitch Quarterly. So most of you guys should have received your kit or seen posts of the piece. So if you haven't, Don't turn us off, just look away if you don't want it to be revealed. So this is the design by Kathy from Hands On Design. So she stitched that. She designed this exclusively for Stitch Quarterly. This will be available in 6 months. I did talk to her at Nashville when we went, and she is planning on doing a little bit more with this house, possibly 3 more patterns coming out. So we're shooting for a September release date, but depending on where the other patterns fall, this one may come out later. I just wanted to tell you guys that. I know she is expecting her first grandbaby. I don't know if it happened already. I know they were a little nervous in Nashville, so I haven't really reached out to her or talked to her yet, just being that Nashville finished and she was expecting her first grandbaby, so that's exciting. So this is the piece. This is your, sorry, it's a little crunched up. It was in my office. This is your kit. So in this kit, it comes with this mesh bag, and this mesh bag is exclusive to members. We did not have any bags individually left over to be sold to the store. In your bag, you get this insert. In this insert comes all of the descriptions of what's in your kit, as well as a coupon. You scan, let me do it that way. Jordan, you may need to blur that out after. You have your coupon code here, and then all your items, and then on the back it shows how I finished the piece, and then a little bit about Kathy here. Her finishing is on the pattern. So this is the pattern that comes with it. It's a single sheet, and then on the back is the chart with her finishing and the floss. So hers, you can see her version, and then this is my version. So we pretty similar. This finishing board that I used is the small soft white wooden easel display from Fat Quarter Shop, and usually we keep, or I keep samples here in the finishing area of all of the, the wooden pieces we do. Well, I couldn't find the easel. So technically there is a hole that goes on the back here. Well, when I was finishing, I forgot to check where the hole was.
That's a prototype.
No, I put the piece over the hole. Like when I was finishing it, I wasn't paying attention, like the front and the back. So this is technically the front, y'all. So put your piece here. Don't do what I did. But since I didn't have an easel, well, it didn't matter. And then Shelly comes into my office and she's like, oh, I have an easel stand for you. She found just an extra easel thing that goes in through, to put in the back. So yeah, Shelly, I can't use it because I glued over the hole. So pay attention to your front and the back. Learn from me. So in Stitch Quarterly, you get the pattern, the insert. You also got an exclusive enamel needle minder that matches the design. You then received all of the floss to stitch the piece. I loved when she sent the colors and the fabric choice. I saw partial design, and I was so excited to see everything once, things got stitched. So you got all the floss to complete it. Kathy did hers on 28 count espresso by Witchell. It's a linen, and I did mine on 32 count, just so that you could see the difference. Size wise, it's really not much. You only need a little bit of fabric. The stitch count is 43 by 71. So it is a very quick stitch to do. Then I'll leave this here. You also got the Marina Blue cross stitch key. So this is an exclusive color that we did. It's only available in Stitch Quarterly. This exclusive color is not available outside of Stitch Quarterly, but this really comes in handy. Someone had asked about their margin size of their cross stitch, if 2.5, I think so, if 2.5 inches is a good margin, and that's probably the highest we go. Kimberly usually does 2 inches. Sometimes she gives me 1.5 inches. Sometimes less.
Sometimes they give you 4 inches, and then
Yes.
I get to the bottom and it's 1.5 inches less.
So, you know, you have your corner guide here. If you don't know what fabric count you have, like you lost the tag or, you know, or the little insert that it comes with, you can put up these lines to match the holes in your fabric, and it'll tell you the cloth count. You have a ruler if you need to do quick measuring, and then this is the best feature here if you ever need to know how many strands and what needles size to use on the fabric count you're working with. This is always handy to have. Now, granted, as you hear all of us 5, needle size is a definite preference when it comes to fabric. Here we recommend on 14 count to do a size 26 needle, but Kimberly uses a size 28. So again, start with these needles, see if you like it. If you don't, you can change your needle size. You don't have to do what we list. And then if you were in Stitch Quarterly, you got the first sample of Kimberly's cross stitch needles in size 26. So in each shipment, you will get a needle, and it's just one packaged in the kit. We do have leftover, a few leftover kits that you can purchase. We had very minimal left. So if you want to get this kit, it's available. If you join the club right now and you want this kit, you will have to email customer service upon request if we still have the kits. So yes, I'm excited to display this now here at the office. So that's Stitch Quarterly. I also, Heart in Hand is the next one for June, and it's so cute. I saw the design. I'm not releasing the fabric yet until next month of what you need.
How many spots are left in the club?
As of yesterday, there was 50 spots left in the club. So it goes fast. Then I'm going to do some questions that I saw beforehand before I get into stitching. So Stitch Quarterly, I would love to do the Stitch Quarterly patterns together. Are they going to be similar size to make that possible? The parameters, yes, they're all about 4 by 6 inches, but some of them are landscape, or some are horizontal and some are vertical. So, and each colorway is different. So like the Heart and Hands colors, I've seen those. They look, it's more of Heart and Hand style than hands-on design. So I wouldn't, unless you're changing all the colors, I don't know how it would look together as one, but they are roughly the same size. So this wooden compartment, we do carry this. I finished this, I want to say about 2 years ago. Each compartment size is, the inside is 3 inches by 3 inches. It's a perfect square. Someone asked if Lori stitch cards could fit in here, and yes, they can. Off the top of my head, the count size, I don't know. You may need to adjust the count size, and you may need to see if it fits with the border or without the border, like just the inside motif. And we do have a winner for the next set of needles. It's K-IO4HX. You won the giveaway. If you can email me, which is Denise@fatquartershop.com, we'll send out your needle. So congratulations.
So on 14 count, that stitch card would be really small.
Yeah. So you could fit the border. There may be some math involved, but yes, 3 by 3 is your compartment size. And then how I finished it, let me see if I remember. I think I put soft and stable in the back.
Yeah, you did.
So like I just put the design and then I did soft and stable so that I could, like, it wraps and then fits perfectly in there. So yes, just a quick question on that. Okay, now I'll move into stitching. I have started the third of Lori's quilting bee. This one's iron and starch. So I always start with the border first, and I then, get a little bit in just so I can start a motif. I'm a big fan of the Bridgerton series, so I would stitch this all throughout that Netflix series. Luckily, I have not had to rip out anything. There's not a piece that goes by that I don't have to rip out stitching because I'm paying attention to the show or the book that I'm reading or like listening to, then my stitch piece. So I can say I started with the thread pack amount for the first one. I'm doing that on what's called for the 36 count cream and sugar by Fiber on a Whim. I have yet to buy a new skein other than one, which was a new one that was introduced in the second one, which y'all will see in April for the pins and pin cushion. So my thread pack is going to go a lot further than say Kimberly's on 14 count, just because I'm using one strand, she's using 2 strands. So this is the progress so far. I hope to get this, I want to get this done in April because I do have plans for May that I'm going to talk about. So I am forcing myself to finish this before May starts so that I can do those plans. Then the second piece I worked on is the Christmas Market series by Little House Needleworks. This is on 40 count Affogato by Fiber on a Whim, and I'm on the cake stand. I worked a little bit on this last night, and it's such a fast stitch. There is a lot of color change though, just because there's just, in order to get all this detailing, you do just a couple stitches and then, you tie off. I usually wait to do my single stitches at the end, because knowing me, I'm afraid I'm not going to do them. I'm not going to anchor it right. And then with me manhandling it, I'm sure my stitches are going to come out. But I think I anchored it pretty good. The back is a hot mess, so I'm not going to even show that. But I love the variegation of it. Sometimes these are 2 different browns. It's Wagon Wheel and Hazelnut, and you can see the difference there. But then kind of in here, it gets lost just dependent on where I am in the skein. So goal is to finish it this month, so I have a couple more days so that then I can start the one that goes here. And the layout is available on Country Cottage Needleworks website. She recommends to leave 1 stitch in between horizontally and vertically if you're stitching it as one. I'll leave this out. Then this next one, I swear, I asked Alicia every day when this pattern was coming in if she had tracking, if she had shipment. So Stacy Nash, if you were receiving an email from Alicia, it was because of me. So this was one of my tops for Nashville. I absolutely loved it. I know nothing about geese. Absolutely nothing. I didn't even knew that they flew. It's embarrassing.
Or chickens or
cows. It's very embarrassing to admit that, and Jordan's just looking at me like, wow, you really said that on camera. It's fine.
She said it in a meeting, and we were like, no, Denise, they fly. She's like in real life, and we're like,
and I'm
in real life. Where else? You think we're watching a movie?
And I'm like, they catch air, they get up in the sky, right? And then Shelly's like, hello, Denise, flying geese, the block, duh. And I'm like, oh, I guess. Anyways, before I embarrass myself and secondhandedly Jordan, I'm just gonna continue. So I really wanted to start this pattern. I have issues picking a fabric when it has a lot of white in it, just because I'm always afraid the white's never going to show up, especially when I do one strand. So I ended up doing this on 40 count One More Reproduction by Be Stitch Me, and The reason I didn't start this one to begin with on this fabric was because this is literally the piece that I have. When Jordan, if you can zoom out a little bit, just so that, out, yes. So like, it's literally cut. It's a scrap. I just fold it back up and I put it in my stash. And then depending on, what
Doesn't
project.
get in the way, like the bottom and the right?
I just use Wonder Clips. It's small enough that like when I put my hoop
okay.
in, I hold on this hand. So if this is in the way, I just do a Wonder Clip on the bottom. So I thought, I saw these in person, so I know, what they were physically, what size they were. So I knew that, one would fit here, the pillow would fit here, and then this little one, I mean, it is tiny. So I knew I would have enough to fit all three of these in one. She gives instructions in the pattern on how to finish it. I wanted to wait to pick my fabric until the pattern came in. She stitched on, I believe it was a 36 count. And I didn't know because I've never stitched one of the crackers before. If in the pattern it had like a template or a drawing to help guide you. So I didn't, if I switched to 40 count, the template, if one was provided, would be a little bit bigger than what I was stitching. But she doesn't include a template. She just tells you, the margin and how to leave it, and how to stitch it, and even add this, how there's like a little fur on the little the goose. So I really love it. It was very hard to, as soon as it came in, I think I started it that night. And then the next day I came into work and I told Alicia, I was like, I hate it. I picked the wrong fabric. It's too yellow. So then I started it again that night. And then I came back. I hate it. I'm starting it. I'm starting it again. Now, granted, I didn't get all this, I didn't stitch this whole entire thing 2-3 times. I only put like a couple of stitches. And then before I settled on this fabric, I phoned in friends of Shelly and Cheryl and be like, before I start this for a third time, what do y'all think? I did change the white to B5200. She called for Weeks Dye Works whitewash. Everything floss-wise is Weeks Dye Works. So I ended up changing the white just to be a little bit brighter, so it popped out more to B5200, and it looks amazing. So I can't wait to continue stitching on it, and then as well as finishing it. I am very terrified to do it, but I think I can do it. Hopefully someone has a tutorial that I can follow. Yeah, Jordan said, yeah, so you can teach everyone else. And I'm like, let me get it down first before I share that. And then the last piece are both a stitch finish and a whip. So I started Treasury of Compassion by Teresa Kogut last year when she released this. She used this is one thread that's in the called for, and it's a Valdani 6-strand, and it's called Golden Autumn. So just like in Kimberly's piece that she showed with Heart in Hand, it's one strand that has the variegation of it. So I'm part of Teresa Kogut's Patreon. I am tier 4, I believe. So she released this one. And when I saw it, she stitched it on just one color, like a solid, or like just a simple variegated floss. I can't remember off the top of my head which one she picked. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, this would pair perfectly with this one. So I ended up pulling this one out of my stash, or out of my closet actually, and put more stitches in there, and then I ended up stitching this in one weekend, the Patreon one. So the Patreon is on Not Another Sampler by Be Stitch Me, and I believe it's 36 count. And then this one, this bigger piece, is on 32 count Moonstone. Yes, 32 count Moonstone, and I want to say that's fiber on a whim. So this one I've been stitching it on Sundays as like a Sunday sampler, and then this one I'm finishing as a pillow. I'm giving it to my mom. She already knows. I sent it to her. I was going to surprise her, but I can't keep a secret from her, and I was so excited when I finished it. So today I'm picking out a fabric to go on the back, and I ordered some ribbon from Lady Dot Creates to try a ruching on the outside of a pillow. When we went to Nashville, Summer House Stitchworks had a pillow done that had some beautiful ruching on the outside, and it looks so beautiful. I've never done it before, so I'm going to see how it goes. If it does, maybe I'll convince Kimberly to carry some ribbon from Lady Dot Creates just so that I have access to them.
Are both of the patterns in that book?
No, this one was a Patreon, so in due time
It'll come out
it'll
later.
come out. And then this one just has this this piece. Let me double check that she does.
Are you doing the same thread on each?
Same
Just
thread
different
on
fabric?
both, just different fabric? Yeah. I think Kimberly and I probably use variegated thread. This type of variegated thread a lot differently because I plan. Like when I pick up my thread, like I finished here in this like burgundy or like this dark color, and I didn't want it to start here. So I like had to think when I was putting the thread on my needle, where am I starting? Where am I not? What color is gonna land where? So I do kind of think more of when I use this type of variegated thread than I do any other color.
Which one's the Patreon?
Stacy's, this Meek and Humble, this is the pattern name, this one is the Patreon. Tammy Williams said, Stacy said that she is going to do a floss tube to finish the crackers. That will be amazing, because then I can just watch from her, because I have, who knows what I'll do wrong. That's all my stitching, but I did want to mention, this is not the exact one, of course, in true Denise fashion. I forgot like half of the things I was supposed to bring today because I did not put a reminder. So on April 1st, which is next Wednesday, we will be doing a demo on how to make the project portfolio. So this is what we'll be learning, except this side has a zipper. So just imagine this side zipper. So I want to run through some supplies beforehand if you need anything. Fabric wise, it's very stash friendly. All you need, thank you. Oh my word. All you need is 2 fat quarters. One for the main fabric. This is what I'm calling the main fabric. And then your secondary fabric, which is your lining and then your bias trim. For my fabric, I'm going to use the Rosie Petite Fat Quarter Bundle. The reason I chose this one is because I like these larger prints to be on the outside. And then these smaller prints on the inside of, which would be the lining. So that's what I look for when I am pulling my fabrics. We have another winner for the cross stitch needles. It is Tabitha Verbeek. You won. So please email Denise at Fat Quarter Shop and we will send them out today after FlossTube. So this is the fabric. Again, you can pull from your stash. You just need 2 fat quarters. Then to make it firm and to give it body, you need to have an ultra firm stabilizer. So we are recommending the Peltex. So in stabilizer, we carry it by the yard, which is 20 inches wide. You can probably get about 3 from 1 yard, like 3 portfolios. You then need some fleece. This is the fleece that holds your, your little skeins of floss. We are using Pellon fusible fleece by the yard, 45 inches wide. I like the fusible just because it really sticks once we start like ironing everything. It just holds everything in place when you're working with all those layers. You don't have to use fusible. You can use, you know, regular fleece. I did try batting. For me, batting did not work. It was very stretchy. It didn't have the same, I guess, fiber makeup as what the fleece did. I was trying 2 different ones, and Shelly was here at the time when I was making it, and yeah, we weren't necessarily a fan of it. So I recommend fleece, fusible fleece if you have it. Then of course you need your vinyl. I am a huge fan of the By Annie vinyl. So yes, again, you could use any vinyl, but By Annie, we love it here. You will need magnets. I like the Minky Kim because you get a total of 4, and it's very inexpensive for 4. And these are what you put to hold your needle. Granted, you can use any magnet because we are going to enclose it in fabric. And then you need a zipper. You at least need 14 inches of a zipper, so it doesn't, you know, you can use By Annie. I have used Lori's. I love using Lori's personally because of the double zipper that you have to open in each way, because I'm left-handed, so I tend to put the zipper opposite of usually what right-handers would use. Yes, it is a thing that I look for in how a zipper is placed in a bag if I can open it with my left hand. And then you need some snaps. The snaps can be optional, and I'll go more into detail on the tutorial on April 1st. This one, like I said, it's optional because I didn't put snaps in this one, and it still closes perfectly fine. The snaps, I do recommend getting the extra long snaps, because when you're snapping them here, this is thick. You have your fleece, you have your firm stabilizer, and then you have your layers of fabric. So you do need something to really poke through and grip this. So yeah, so that is the tutorial that's going on April 1st. It will be live, so that if there's, and you will see all the hiccups live, as well as if you have questions you can ask. It'll be at our normal time at 9 a.m. And then one final thing regarding some housekeeping for YouTube as for winners. So if you go to our homepage on YouTube, you have the home tab, the videos of, you know, the shorts we release, the lives. You have any playlist Jordan puts together, but right here in the post, this is where Jordan posts all the giveaway winners. If we have any post stream, and then as well as today, any of the winners that went live, he will also make a wrap-up post to go here. We picked more winners a day ago for the Nashville Needlework Market stream. There were 12 winners who won Nashville pattern bundles. All the patterns that we showed, we picked about 10 patterns to go to 12 winners. So if your name is on here, please email me, denise@fatquartershop.com, so that we can send out your patterns. I believe 3 of you guys, 3 or 4 have already emailed me. So your patterns are already on the way or about to ship. So please just check the post tabs. If we are doing a giveaway, that's where you would look. So yes, that's all I have. Kimberly, you ready for the what's new?
Yeah, and then I gotta show Lori's.
Yes. And then Lori, yesterday, she stitched on Garden of Quilts. This is a reminder also to Kimberly. That's up next on your list to stitch for Garden of Quilts.
Do I have it in my house? Or y'all hidden?
No, we have it.
Yeah, so they have to hide my stuff or I'll stitch too far in
She
advance.
stitches very in advance and very fast.
So she's hiding it.
So this is Lori's progress. She is stitching it on the called for fabric, which is 36 count milk and honey by Fiber on a Whim with her, with the called for colors. And so she has the matching needle minder. Are those the 5.0 readers, you think? Those pink ones?
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks really good.
And then that's so vintage. That's her little panel that you can turn into a bag.
Yes, and she starts from I learned she starts from the right and goes to the left versus some of us stitch left to right or center and out.
You're good.
I don't want to have
Okay, so I'm going to show you new items. We're going to show you Nashville, and then we're just going to show you stuff that came in normal. So these are the new Nashville releases from Autumn Lane. Woodland Winter and a Spooky Bite. Is this the one you're going to stitch, Cheryl? The Spooky Bite? She's saying yes.
I think we decided that both Alicia and I were going to stitch it too because we liked it, but yes.
Oh, okay. Blueberry Ridge has 5 new patterns. Spring Awakens. By the Nesting Tree. Sea Turtle Cove. Fox and Flower Company. The Post Bunny's Easter Delivery. I think that one's really cute. Cherry Blossoms, we have a pattern and some finishing. So the first pattern we have is actually, we're selling out of these like crazy. This is called On the Go Keeper Bag. We have it in stock. Or we have it on reorder. I can't remember, but it's...
I know we ordered more at Nashville because the number was high.
So there's 3 different size options. And then for cross stitch pattern, she has Peppermint Lane and Vintage Ornaments set 4. And then this is the package. It's just called Vintage Ornament Wooden Backers, and it works with each of her ornament sets. And then she has New Day. This is finished on the New Day wooden backer. So it looks like she painted it. And then she has Beautiful Things, which you can finish on the Beautiful Things backer. And this one, I actually think, when I saw it, I think it would look really pretty this way also. I think you could do either way. Lindy Stitches has 6 new patterns. Goose Western Morning. Spring Trinkets. Not Lost. Ring-tailed Lemur. Red Panda. And For All. There's 3 different versions of the chart inside. And then we talked about this one a little bit before market started, but Little House Needleworks came out with Winterville part. There's a 1, 2, and a 3. I'm showing them to you opposite. But so you can buy these charts individually or as a set of 3. And then there is a Winterville thread set that is enough thread to make all of these if you use the same count that she calls for. There are new floss colors we showed you originally as individual. Now there are thread packs if you want the 4 new colors by Classic Colorworks. So those are the 2026 colors: Ponderosa Pine, Sedona, Lakeside, and Gold Rush. A lot of you I know just bought them individually because that came before the packs. Farmers Market ABCs. This one also comes with the thread pack. Plum Street Samplers, Strength and Laughter, George Loves Martha, The Pledge of Allegiance, and oh my gosh, her daughter was so cute. Her daughter was dressed up as Betsy Ross.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Freedom Flock, Happy Day, and Upon My Heart. And then I was wondering if Cheryl was going to stitch this. It's A Worthy Patriot. But I think she'd have to finish the other one first. But you like it, right?
I do love it.
Yeah. Well, Cheryl didn't go with us this year, so whenever we saw something, we're like, okay, we think Cheryl's going to stitch that. We think Cheryl's going to stitch that. We think Shelly's going to stitch that. Satsuma Street. This one is so funny. I should stitch this for both Kevin and my son because they have a pickle joke. The joke is a stuffed animal called Pickles, and sometimes Pickles ends up in the freezer. It's a thing they have going. Holiday House. This one's really cute. And then these are really cute in the room because I don't think the pattern covers show how bright they are. It kind of reminded me of like a circus. Like everything was very joyous in her room. Sunny Side. That's some Sashiko stitching on there. Pot Shop. Should I tell my little joke?
No.
No. Making Spirits Bright. This one I think is going to be super popular. Perfect Presents. And this one, when I saw it, I thought, I think people will customize this one to their different cat colors because, they're only sometimes when there's, a lot of colors going on, it's hard to change. But I feel like these would be easy to change to your colors. Local Conditions. I think Alicia said she was going to make one of these.
Holiday House.
Hip kitties. Let me see. Yeah, this is the one Alicia wants to make. She keeps
I think
picking.
Shelly too.
Shelly too.
Yeah.
Y'all keep picking big ones. Y'all keep picking bigger ones, and I keep picking smaller ones. And then Christmas cameos, and this comes in the pattern. So it's like the little felt, the little buttons, and the template for these is inside. Shakespeare's Peddler, Spring Bramble, Peace, and Lori Holt loves these. I think she's going to stitch some of them on her FlossTube. Ohio Star Quilt. The Goblins. A Funny Little Sampler. The Winner.
I'm waiting for it to pop up.
Oh, we're waiting for it to pop up. Autumn Sampler Fragment. That one I really like the floss colors and the fabric color. 3 penny needles. And Peace on Earth. So Shakespeare's Peddler had 10 brand new
I
patterns.
think there's one more under there.
Oh, there's one more under here.
Actually, it's not better.
A Cheerful Heart. And a Fancy Basket and Kimp 1815. Our winner of cross stitch needles is Rachel Pangriazzo. Please email Denise at fatquartershop.com. Congratulations. And then Shepherd's Bush, we have new patterns, and then we have all of her bag patterns to show. So this is her new pattern called Piece and Stitch. Oh, sorry, Stuff. So these bag patterns, they are to fit the mini Mad for Plaid bag. So I thought, you know what, we need to have all of them. So I'm gonna have Jordan zoom out, and then I'm gonna show all of them kind of together.
Now?
Yeah. Okay, so we have Peace, My Stuff, Liberty, Burr, I don't know how you say that.
Burr.
Yeah, like you're cold. Buzz, So, Love, Jingle, Lamb, Boo, I Count, and Be Happy. So at Fat Quarter Shop, we sell the patterns for these individually. And obviously we sell the bags. But if you want a kit to make this with the floss and the buttons, you can call Shepherd's Bush. They are located in Utah. I'm trying to think of the name of the town. But just look up Shepherd's Bush, and they have the kits to make the bags. We only have the patterns. Ogden, yes. And then for the Mad for Plaid bags that are bigger, same thing goes. We have the pattern, they have the kits. We have Flag, My Sheep, Stitch, Scary, Joy. And you know, when we were there, I talked to Teresa and I looked at the inside of her bags, and they just leave the insides stitched. They don't cover them or anything. We've gotten so many questions. Quilt, sampler, and these, you know, you don't have to put them on bags. These could be something that you stitch on a 14 count. Thankful, Summer, Garden, Autumn, Spring, Queen, and Winter. And super excited to have all of these. I'm thinking I want to pick some of these and put them on some of the new Digi Stitcher fabric, because I think it would kind of have that same look. I'm going to show that to you in a little bit so you'll know what I mean. From Stacy Nash, we have part of her shipment. The rest is coming later. This is Spring Parade Sewing Basket. Love the Giver Pin Keep. Christmas Cookie Series Sugar, so I think that's a skunk. And then Olive is the goose that Denise showed you. And then this is Pip and Cottage Sewing Booklet. So it's two patterns. It's the little booklet and then the little hedgehog. Prairie Schooler, their new pattern. This is their 2026 Santa. Are you going to stitch it, Cheryl?
Which?
The Prairie
Oh,
School.
yes.
Yeah.
I had hoped to start it for today.
Oh, okay.
I'll start it soon.
The Proper Stitcher has 5 new patterns. Seaside Ooh,
You.
Seaside You, Have Courage, Be You, Liberty, and then Patriotic Jubilee. Teresa Kogut has 17 new patterns, and the shipment just arrived. So we are blessed and celebration. Both of these are charted in color. All of them are. All of them are. Okay. My Garden Biscornu. From the Raccoon Biscornu. No Distance Too Far. And with an E. And the rest are booklets. So those were individual charts. The rest are booklets. This is Frosty Pals. That's really cute. Midnight Santa Stocking. So I think this is the one that Cheryl was referring to earlier.
Yeah, it's one of the ones, yeah.
One of the
Denise
ones.
is
Oh, and then this
stitching
is
that
the other one.
Yeah.
1776 stocking.
That Midnight Santa, that's the one that I'm doing on the 46 count. That I had showed like
Okay.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I
a couple
think.
weeks ago. Spring Rain. That's what Alicia's doing. Hometown. I love this one. I would love to do this one and just totally change the colors to be like pastel. I think that would be so cute. And Denise told me this was previously released as a Patreon. Santa with Ann and Ted. I think this is so cute because I love Raggedy Ann. Spotless Innocence. Find Joy. Hello Love. And I'll show you some of the inside projects here. So this one has a lot of projects. And then we'll check on the side and make sure that our additional images have all the projects in them. Hello Winter, which this is obviously part of a series. You've seen the others. That one's really cute.
It's on my list.
It's on your list.
A lot. in
A
that
lot of
pattern,
this.
Yeah.
I'm showing the ones that are easily flippable without showing the chart. These books are pretty thick. And then Lilies and Chickens. This is the other stocking. So there were 3 stockings in there, I believe.
That was her Nashville market release that she released on Friday. That was
A secret.
A secret.
Tiny Modernist, Meet Me at the Beach, Midnight Ocean, Spring Bunny, and her charts are in color. Cactus and Caravan Bell Pool. This one I think is really unique. And then this one you saw earlier, Shelley is stitching the book Goddess. And then Strawberry Band Sampler.
Before you go on into other Nashville, I see a lot other patterns. I see a lot of people commenting that, you know, Nashville, there are so many good releases and stuff like that. I meant to mention in my plans for May, Stitching Gem is doing a Market Mania, where if there was a pattern that came out at market or any markets before, to do a start in May for her Mania. So I may do that because there's so many market patterns this year that I love that I want to start. So you can check out her FlossTube. She gives more like info on what she's doing. But if you don't know who she is, she was the one who was on Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
This is a new ABC thread keep called Patriotic. It's super cute. It's by Willoughby Ann. And then we always get the Puntini pins. This is Carrot Party. Spring Trinkets. I'm a sucker for these, by the way. Strawberry and Thread. Sailing. And Pumpkin Collection. And on these, I'm not sure if she keeps these in stock or if they're a one and done. I need to figure that out. So we recently started carrying Be Stitch Me fabrics. So I'm gonna kind of show you stacks and then we're gonna do front camera. Everything I'm showing you here is available in Aida 14, 16, and 18 count, Lugana 28 and 32, linen 28, 32, 36, and 40. So this is Winter Ash, First Hatch, Bluebell, and Hearthstone. And Fiber on a Whim and Be Stitch Me and Picture This Plus are all going to be, once we sell out, it takes 3 to 6 months to get a reshipment. So just keep that in mind. Okay, you want me to show these in the front?
The only one not reading is the First Hatch. Is the only color that's off, if you want to do that front. The front cam for the yellow.
Okay, so this is Winter Ash, and Jordan said, let me just do them one by one.
Sure.
Okay, so Winter Ash, 14 count, 16 count. And so these are all dyed on Swigard, and they take the dye differently. So 18 count. So some people like to see 28 count. 28 linen, this is the Lugana. 32 count Lugana. 32 count linen. And 36 linen. So it looks like the darkest is the 14 count and the lightest is the 36 count and the 18 count is kind of in the middle. Hearthstone. This is 14 count. 16 count. 18 count. 28 Lugana. And to me, this is tan with a little bit of gold. 28 count linen.
That's a completely different color.
32 count Lugana. 32 count linen. 36 count linen. And 40 count linen. So this one, the lightest is the Aida.
Yeah.
And Be Stitch Me is a new company for us, so if you've tried it, give comments in the chat so people know. This is Bluebell 14 count. 16 count. And that looks totally different, like, yeah, totally different. 18 count. 28 count Lugana. 28 count linen. 32 count Lugana. 32 count linen. 36 count linen. And 40 count linen. And on this one, you know, it's the 14 count that really is sticking out between all of them. It's either much lighter or much darker. So it must be something to do with the fabric, because even the 16 count looks similar to the 18, but the 14 is really light. Congratulations, Judy Taylor 7784. You won the giveaway. Email Denise at factquartershop.com with your mailing address. This is the one Jordan said was different. I'm going to just show it on the table and then I'll hold it up. First Hatch, 14. 16. It's brighter in person. 18. So we'll show it in the front camera in a second. 28. This is Lugana linen. 32 count Lugana. 32 count linen. 36 count linen. And 40 count linen. Okay, so let's do the front camera. These are gonna be your higher counts. So it's sorry. It's a little bit brighter than it was showing on the table is what Jordan was saying. And then your lower counts, this is the color, if y'all want to see that. Okay. Now I'm going to show you Fiber on a Whim. Same thing. Once this sells out, it's a 3 to 6 month delivery. The colors are Dirty Snow, Smoked Salmon, and Gothic Mauve. Do you want me to show them individually? Okay. They're all available in Ada 14, 16, and 18, Lugana 28 and 32, and Linen 28. I don't even think I was reading the right one. I'm just going to show them to you. I was looking at the one above.
Oh, Jordan, can you scroll down?
So Fiber on a Whim, Dirty Snow 14, 16, 18, 20, 28, Cassia Linen, 25 count Lugana, 32 count Belfast, 36 count Linen, 36 count Even Weave. It really in real life doesn't do that. And then 40 count. Should I hold them up? I think it looks pretty clear.
If it looks true, then.
It looks true to me. Does it look true to you? Okay, the mauve. So you have the 14, 16, 18, 20, 28, 28, 32, 36, 36, and 40. So they all look, you know, similar but different. You can always tell on the camera which one's an even weave because it does this to the camera. Just so you know, that's how you know when it's even weave on the camera, that little zebra stripe. It's not in real life, it's just what the camera does. And then this is Gothic Mauve. So same counts, 14 in the same order. So I do expect some of these to sell out. It's always kind of a surprise to me which ones do.
I think Dirty Snow is the one that sold, but we have it on reorder.
Like it's the popular
Oh,
color.
Dirty Snow is the most popular so far.
Which one is the fourth from the top? That one?
20 count Ada. So 14, 16, 18, 20, 28, 28, 32, 36, 36, 40.
The 20 looks light. Well, from this angle it does.
Mhm, it does. And then of course, the 14 count looks totally different. Okay, so that is all from Nashville. Now we have our regular store inventory. This might be newer stuff. It might be older stuff we ordered. The newest paper patterns by Stitching with the Housewives are Singing in the Rain, Fresh Flowers, and Good to Be Home. One thing I wanted to point out is I saw some comments on the Stitching with the Housewives Facebook group, and people were wanting to buy Monaco by the yard. So we ordered it by the yard. The largest cut we'll be able to sell is 5 yards. The color we ordered is white. And if that sells good, we can add other colors. The tiered tray tidbits, the ball jar, Sideways strippers. This one's really cute. 1776 to 2026. To 150 years of freedom and American pride. I really like these. Now, they started with stitchy roundabouts last month. I'm going to show you all 4 of them. I'm thinking about figuring out how to stitch these. And we have some new frames. I'm trying to figure out if they'll fit in there. This is Stitching Time, Fancy Floss Toss, Cross Stitcher, and Stitch by Stitch. And these are a 3.5-inch round circle. So we're gonna see if we think they'll fit. But I'm definitely stitching this one for sure.
What size did you say?
This on the back, it says 3.5-inch circle. And then so those were the stitchy, and then these are the quilty. Piece by piece, quilter, and then obviously I'm gonna stitch this one. So I'm definitely stitching the quilter and the cross stitcher. Love to quilt. And scraps. Do you think it'll fit?
It should.
We're gonna look. I'll just show you the new frames now since we're talking about it. And then, do you have we need to have one of the regular cross stitch keeper that we sell, and then I have this.
It should.
So this on the back says 3.5 inches, and these are called Two's Company. We just got them in. There's 3 colors. There's pink, blue, and white. So I'm thinking it'll definitely fit because it's round.
It's gonna be tight because the opening on the inside is 3.5.
Oh yeah, that.
Like a visible.
Oh yeah, that's, well, no, it's, yeah, I think it's gonna fit.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm gonna try to stitch. So the quilter would be cute there. And then, or I might do both white or both pink, but if I do both in the same color, I'll have to change the colors because these are a little hot pink. So I'm going to kind of start with the frame. You know, sometimes we get the question, do you start with the fabric first or the floss? On this one, I'm going to start with the frame, go to the thread, and then I'll probably just put my 14 count pale gray gingham. And these are called Two's Company frames. Some older Bent Creek that we went ahead and ordered. Love. Oh no, these are newer. I can't remember if these are newer. Let Us Be Thankful and Quaker Noel Row. We buy so much stuff, it's really hard to remember. Artful Offerings. This is Butterfly Meadow Sampler. Pansy Patch Designs, Rick Rack House. So this is next in the series that Shelly is showing you. The one she's stitching on that really big piece of fabric. From Jean Farish, when we went to her room, she really thought we should have this book. She thinks it's really helpful just to have like in your library if you're ever needing an alphabet. So we purchased it because she suggested it. Lela Boutique has a brand new pattern called Jolly Stitches. So cute. And she's just stitching on white Aida. Crafty Blue Bonnet. We got to meet her at Market. Baked Fresh Patriotic Cookies. Cupid. So Lovely. And Hearts. Heart with Stripes Spool. Sorry, we just dropped everything. What we meaning, not me, this time. Okay, this one I think is super cute. This is Sweet Wing Studio, and I really like this one. It's called America, and I think this one will look really good on one of our brand new dot fabrics. So this one I'm actually going to keep because I want to stitch this one. Remember Me by Blackbird Designs. Was original, oh, this is brand new. It's not a reprint. I'm gonna turn to the pages. So this has got a lot. So basically these are the same as these individual. And then there are some others. So these are all the same, right? Yeah, each one is a square. Primrose Cottage, there are some new patterns and some new needle minders. Some of the needle minders have already sold out. These are the 3 needle minders, and they keep coming off. I'm sorry. See, this is why they dropped. Sorry. Okay, so I think the sea turtle might have sold out, but we have more on order. These 2 are needle minders, and then these 3 are charms. And then the release this time, it's all about the beach. So there are 13 new patterns. Beach rolls. And I did see on their site, they were selling some of, I think it was this board. I could be completely wrong, but they were selling it on their site. Beach Quaker. Robin's Easter. Garden Variety is a series. This one's called Ladybug. So mushrooms, carrots, ladybug, and dragonfly. And these finish at 3 5/8. So they would be slightly too big for those new frames, unless you did a lower count. You Happy Home. Abide in My Love. I love this one. Salty Kisses. Sea, Sand, and Stitches. Easter Bunny, that's super cute. And Springtime Stroll. And they also have a YouTube channel you can subscribe to. It's called Primrose Cottage. I showed you the brand new Caterpillar cross stitch needle patterns earlier because I was so excited. These are their new needle minders. These are actually existing needle minders, but they're now new to the US market. So you can just search Caterpillar needle minder. They're super high quality. They're just really nice. The texture on them is super nice. They're not too thick and they're not too thin. They're just really, really nice printing. So those are the Caterpillar cross stitch. Oh, we're gonna have another winner. And then Digistitchery we've been talking about. So this is Daisy Delight Cream, and then this is Daisy Delight. So earlier, Alicia showed, did you show the cream or just the Daisy Delight?
Just the regular Daisy Delight.
So this is the one that Alicia showed you earlier. So we have this available in 14, 16, 27, and 32 count. I'll show them to you. And these are screen printed, so 14, 16, 27, and 32. So this one is more of a gray, and then this one is cream. This one is called Daisy Delight Cream. So same thing, 14, 16. And I'm glad that Alicia found something to put on this because I was like, oh, we gotta find something to put on this. It's so cute. So those are the new colors, and then we just purchased all of their polka dots. So I'm gonna show you those. The polka dots are available in 14 count, 16 count, and 32 count. I'm just gonna show you by color. So this is Aqua Dot. blue dot. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so aqua dot, blue dot, pink, oh, bubble gum. And I bought, to be honest, I bought all of these 14 count. So if we sold out, it might be me. Grape dot. I even bought the purple. I thought I could do like a little TCU thing on it. Honey dot. And then this one I really like, and it's not even a color I like. It's marmalade. Meadow dot. Pale pink dot. The gray dot is the one that the gray dot we got earlier, and that is the one that I did the flag on. Red dot. The pink dot I was thinking about doing the Liberty stitches on, but when I put the floss on it, I thought the gray was a better match. This one is red dot. This one has a lot more
Like just
stripping to it. Distress. And then this one I really like. It's sky blue dot. And these are all available in 14, 16, and 32 count. Congratulations, Sandra Schmeg, 3048. You won the giveaway. Email Denise at fatquartershop.com. Okay, so those are the dots. Now they also have picnic colors. So I'm going to show you the same thing. Picnic aqua. Same counts that I just showed you. Picnic brown. And don't buy all these because I haven't had time to log on and buy yet. So this one I know I'll be using picnic gray. Picnic bubblegum. Pale pink. Oh, I love these. So cute. Grape. Honey. Marmalade, meadow, red, and then this one also has the more distressed look on the red. Sky, and navy. And these are the ones that I was saying would look really cute. These bag patterns would look so good on these fabrics right here, just to kind of remind you, by Shepherd's Bush. And then you wouldn't have to, you know, this uses pearl cotton, which I don't think I've used before. So if you're looking for the same look, but you want to be able to use Ada, we have Ada. But I just think that's like a really good look. So I just showed you all those colors. This is the same thing, right? So this is the same thing in 16 count. Just, I mean, same thing. And then we found Jennifer Valles needlepoint on online, and I thought these were really cute. They're pins. And I'm going to show you how they work. They're this just pulls off, so it stays on pretty tight. So it's not a magnet, because the biggest thing with me is if I use a magnet on my bag, I'm going to lose it. But these are pins. And so we have 2-stitch, whips, finished, and then blank if you want to write it on here. I just think they're different. They're cute. I put them on our mini Mad for Plaid bags so that you could see what they look like. I think they're super cute. And then we did get the latest edition of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, which is the spring 2026 issue. Okay, I'm going to answer a couple of questions because we have been on for 3 hours. Are backs on Digi Fabrics white? Yes. Are you able to get 14 count Ada by the yard? It depends which one. We're going to tread lightly into that department. Is the hand dyed softer or stiffer? Softer. Is the cross stitch key available separately? It is in gray, and I didn't see one here. So that cross stitch key you can get in gray. Do the new needles have smooth eyes? Yes. I'm using 24. which one of the new needles would be best for me? 26. On the 20 count, this is for Cheryl and Denise. Sorry, Shelly, I don't know if you'll know either. On 20 count, how many threads do you stitch? One square. Do you one square with one thread?
1 over 1, yeah.
And then if you do 2 squares, you would use 2 threads, and that would be more like 10 count.
Right.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna not answer that one because I think they could email Cheryl.
Can you just say who?
Yes.
For Amanda, she asked, do you have recommendations for a 14 count for the Teresa Kogut stockings?
So I would email Cheryl at fatquartershop.com and tell her which stocking. So, because that would there's 20 of them. And she'll probably be able to tell you off the top of her head. You know, she has every DMC color memorized. What size needle works best for 16 count and 32 count Lagana? I prefer 28 count. Oh, I think our camera battery just went out.
It didn't.
It didn't?
Yeah, it did.
It did. Okay. So guys, thanks so much for watching. We love you guys and we will see you next week. And that's a wrap.